night, screens glowing blue, got the facts in my headlights. Commonwealth tripping, but the truth stay calm. 𝗺•cie and Allie, I'ma read them like Psalms. 𝗵𝗵 throwing shade from a broke down porch, but the files in my lap like a flame to a torch. I don't raise my voice, I just let the game speak. Steady with the grind while the crooked run weak.
We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks, they can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just ride a slow grind.
Midnight oil burning, pen hit the pad slow. Every word cut clean like the rims on the 𝗬𝗄𝗋. From Boston to Brockton, the whispers all hum. Turtleboys riding in the reckoning gon' come. Lally in the back room, 𝗺cie on the phone, trying to twist the narrative, but they can't postpone. I'm just sipping on the facts while the city play pretend. Truth got no curfew, I'ma run it to the end. See, this ain't about fame, this about that long game. You can duck, you can weave, but the truth still call your name.
We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks, they can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just riding slow, gliding. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks, they can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just riding slow, guys. We just roll down to the city blocks. We just riding slow, guys.
My name's Aidan Kearney,
known online as
Turtleboy, and is a senior editor for
tvdailynews.com.
they call me
Dr. Turtleboy.
It's my preferred pronoun. Daddy.
What's up, Daddy?
Journalism Jesus. 𝗵𝗵 Kearney.
The one and only Turtleboy.
Turtleboy. What's up, Slick? The doctor is here.
This guy's a bad motherfucker.
That's right, the intro.
I've broken a lot of major stories. I've been doing it for about 11 years. I used to be a high school teacher.
Turtleboy has changed a lot over the years. I was once a blogger, but now I'm much more accurately known as an award-winning journalist, a satirist, and an activist. Boom!
They're screaming your name here.
You're the crowd daddy.
Crazy. People either love me or hate me.
Listen, Turtle, all right?
But either way, they're watching.
Don't make such fun of the criminal justice system.
Stop it. I'm never gonna stop. This fight's just getting started. Now let's get this party started. Yo, what's up, people? How's everyone doing out there tonight? Good, excellent. Welcome to the Tuesday night live show, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aidan Kearney. This is my award-winning program, my YouTube presentation. You can call me a variety of nicknames if you'd like, up to and including 𝗵𝗵 Kearney. That's my true crime name. You can call me Journalism Jesus. That's my spiritual name. You can call me, what else can you call me? Uncle Turtleboy. Old school turtle riders call me that. You just call me Turtleboy if you like. lot of people do that. That's probably the most common thing. You can also call me, tuberculosis. That's my Hood Booger Talk Radio name. You can call me Turtle Dove. That's my chat rat name. You can call me, 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗂𝗺, Turtle, I guess. Dr. Turtleboy is my preferred pronoun because if 𝗬𝗿𝗆 is a doctor, so am I. Also acceptable as daddy. I can understand that can be weird for some people, particularly men, the 19% of you out there. But it can also be fun for a lot of people, particularly women, the 81%, and it can be playful and borderline sexy even. You can call me that. You can call me different kinds of daddy if you like: crowd daddy, theater daddy, brow daddy, daytime daddy, media daddy, Mr. Media Daddy, Saint Daddy, Drama Daddy, formerly Drama Free Daddy, and of course, Fridge Daddy, or any kitchen appliance, because I will fix them all. I will come to your house upon request, probably, depending on who you are, and fix your shit. And then I will fix it again and again and again, no matter how many times it breaks. You just got to shake it. So I don't care what you call me. Just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. sharp. A little late today because I'll tell you why in a minute. At 9 p.m. sharp, and make sure you smash that subscribe button for me. Hook it up and join the fun. Also, get a membership if you like. You can watch the Friday streams that no one else gets. You can join 𝗃𝗁𝗃 for Thursdays. That's on the website itself, tvdailynews.com. Join Turtle Club. It's called Turtle Club technically. We call it 𝗃𝗁𝗃. And I think that was in a filing. 𝗃𝗁𝗃 was in a filing, actually. That was listed as. You can call me normal soccer daddy. You got whatever. I don't care. Go and do that and have a good time. I promise it'll be fun. What else was I going to say? It looks like people are just giving out memberships. You'll love to see that. We got Christine. Congrats to the winners. When this happens, you guys got 5 of you just randomly got a membership. Lurkers included. If you're a lurker and you're not commenting, sometimes you get outed that way with the free membership. The key is you can renew it at the end of the month for only $5, but you have to renew it, right? You're gonna love it. You get to talking green. You get cool little shit that it's $5. Who cares? Just give me $5. Okay. You'll have a great time. And we got to have more members in the 𝗃𝗄𝗃. So that was always our goal here. So, hook it up, join the fun, join the grift. It'll be a good time. All right. If anybody wants their messages read out loud to the class tonight, you can click on the link at the top for Turtle Chat. When you do that, you can pay whatever you want, say whatever you want, and I will read your message out loud to the class as it comes forward. Or you can do Cash App at $ Uncle Turtleboy. I'll just read them that way. I'll do that periodically throughout the YouTube presentation, and you'll have a great time. All right. So so I think that's it for announcements. Keep me posted about the World Cup game. I've watched a lot of soccer but I've watched basically every game. Like, I fucking love the World Cup. I don't watch like every single play or whatever. It's always on though. I just always have it on. I cannot get enough World Cup. I fucking love the World Cup. I'm not like a socceroo, like a diehard soccer person, but it's fun. It's really good entertainment. I don't give a shit. Even though it's like a lot of ties, even the ties were exciting. I don't know. I never was going to be a soccer. Now that I'm like a normal soccer dad, I'm real into it. And shout out to the Cape Verde goalkeeper who like stood on his head and single-handedly. That guy is going to get laid every day in Brockton for the rest of his life if he wants to do it. Not that it's that hard, but there's a big Cape Verdean population in Brockton, and that goalie there is pretty much guaranteed unlimited Cape Verdean pussy forever. So, look who it is. Look who's showed up. They're just tossing around memberships. Look who he is, Will the Glarer. So 20 of you guys got those. So enjoy them if you're one of the winners. And we got Craftastical also giving out 10. So that's awesome to see. I mean, we got a whole bunch from here. Let's see. We got Redacted's a new member. Nice to see. Sarah's a member for 8 months. I think I've only had membership for like 8 months. So we got Karen, who I once banned from here. She's now unbanned with a Y. That's great. It was accidental. Actually, it wasn't accidental. I was just in a bad mood. But I made a mistake and I fixed it. Learning for years, 7-month Chip. You are amazing, Daddy. Well, thank you very much. Ms. Holmes is a new member as well. Asser and Fish just throwing around 5 memberships like it ain't no thing. Same with Darlene over here, 5 memberships. Congratulations to the winners. You guys are gonna love it here, I promise. In honor of meeting you at the Karen Reed trial. Love you. Can you believe it's almost been a year, bro? I look back in the pictures like a year ago today. It was a Monday, and it was the first real full day of jury deliberations. And I remember going into there, because they went. There was closing statements on that Friday, and then they deliberated for like an hour or two, and then they're like, "Yeah, time to go home for the weekend." And we're like, "Okay, cool." They're gonna come back Monday. Karen Reed's gonna be free, and you were just excited because it's like a new jury. You're like, no fucking way. The last jury's filled with morons. This jury's going to get it right, and they are going to acquit. And like, everybody thought that Monday was the day. Like that, there was a huge crowd down there on that Monday. And so you're seeing pictures of it all over the place. That crowd on Monday was fire, man. That was fucking best time of my life, right? That was, oh, thank you, Mr. Rossi, for the 20 memberships as well. I look back on that day, man, and I'm just like, what a day that was. Like, what a time to be alive. Like, that was one of the, I remember just coming out and seeing the crowd in the morning and hearing the helicopters and hearing everything and just looking out there. And I'm like, holy shit. Look at what we built. Look at this shit. Look at what we did, Tommy. But except I actually did build this. You know what I mean? Like, I look back out here and I'm like, this is what I'm seeing out here is 2.5 years of non-stop publicity of this story and making sure that this story is the biggest story ever, right? Because it was important and there should be a gigantic spotlight on it, and it was just a sea of positivity. There were no antis, like literally none. They didn't show up because they don't exist. And it was just like, here we were waiting for 12 people to give us the words that we wanted to hear. And we waited all day and nothing happened. I'm like, okay. But okay, maybe they just need till tomorrow. They're going to come in tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be the day. And we went on Tuesday, the 17th. And we waited. And we waited. And I remember just walking around and people always asking, what's going on? What's going on? Like, I have any inside knowledge. I don't know shit. I know what you guys know. And what are they debating? What are they doing? And what's going on. And I believe late on Tuesday is when they came back with the questions about like, can we acquit on some? And like, what does that mean? Like if we're hung on another, I'm like, oh, I like that word. That means like, that's a really good sign. Really, really good sign. And so I'm like, okay. But then nothing happened. And I'm like, what's going on? I was starting to get bad vibes. So Wednesday came and we were there all day. And the highlight of the day, I was afraid, was John DePietro backing in to a car at a low rate of speed from Texas and breaking his taillight or breaking her taillight and then leaving like a note. Okay. Did Messi just score? Somebody just said that? Messi scored? Wow. Fucking unbelievable. Unbelievable, that guy. Anyway, Mbappe scored today too. Whatever. It's great. Love soccer. Anyway, so yeah, so I remember thinking like, this is going to be the highlight of the fucking day is John DePietro backing it, getting an offender bender and being an asshole. Like, this is what I'm going to talk about on the show tonight. It was John DePietro being a douchebag, and it's like, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, well, this is going to suck, like, and then little did I know that John DePietro backing into a car at a low rate of speed, probably the same exact speed that Karen Reed pulled out of John O'Keefe's garage at 5 a.m. and hit his Chevy Traverse, that was a sign from God, as it turns out. That was literally a sign from God showing that a taillight can break in a situation like that. And because I remember being at the Salem Food Market, eating my turkey sandwich there, and we got the text from Kelly Reed. No, I was with Kelly Reed. And she got the text saying they're calling us back for something. And I didn't know what it was, but you hear that, you get excited. And I remember walking towards the courthouse and everyone was walking towards there. And I'm like, ooh, the vibes, getting some vibes here. And I got up there and I talked to other reporters, and then there were murmurs going around, verdict. And then there was a verdict, but then there wasn't a verdict. And then 30 minutes later, there was a verdict. And it was the greatest thing that ever happened. It was like the greatest. It was the greatest, besides the birth of my children. I can honestly say that was the greatest day of my life. That was the best day of my life. I will remember that day forever. Like I dreamed about that day, and it happened. And I was like, just so, I look back on the videos of that day, me coming out, and I'm like, I wish I was more composed, because I was like fucking like I had this weird mixture of anger and sadness and joy, and you could see it on my face because I'm like so happy, but also like fucking, I was clearly just like crying and trying not to. But I was also mad that we all had to sacrifice this much, and that they put her through all this shit and all that. And like, so even when I'm coming down, like you've seen like the face of me coming down, like I'll show you, like you know, like this, you know, like that face is like, so I'm like, you know, like I'm not smiling. I should be smiling. I should be so happy. It wasn't as sad as this. This is when I'm going to jail. That was sad. But you know, it was just like this is me normally. I'm like usually like happy and shit. And, you know, this was me later on in the day, like after it started to sink in and you're used to it. But like when it was fresh, man, like they whisked you out. This is like 5 minutes after the verdict, bro. 5 minutes. And you're just like overcome. And so like I look back in the videos and I'm like, I wish I was like more composed. Like, but I can't help it. It's just how I felt. It's just how I felt. It was just a lot, dude. Fucking a lot. A lot. But it was, I hugged everybody I could. Dennis Sweeney was so sweaty. I gave him a big hug. And I didn't really like Dennis Sweeney, but I gave him a big hug. And because it didn't matter. I gave fucking Nick Rocco. I almost made out with Nick Rocco. Like, it was crazy, man. It was like the best feeling ever. The best feeling ever. And the good thing I did that day was the interviews. I did 3 interviews. I did one with Fox News, like right out the gate. I did not know that guy was from Fox News. Some guy just came over me, interviewed me. And then my family's all texting me, you're on Fox News, like live right now. Like, this is wild. And then NBC 10 with Malcolm Johnson, and then the Providence NBC network, whatever that was, on the way out. And, you know, I interviewed with all of them. And I watched those interviews, and those were killer interviews. Like, I fucking didn't give a shit. I was just like, so how do you feel about this? I'm like, I feel good, but it's time to go get the McAlberts. Like, let's fucking go. You know, let's fucking go. Let's do this. Like, you know, what do you say to the people that would say that, you know, what about justice for John O'Keefe? I'm like, everyone out here wants justice for John O'Keefe. That's why we're all here. That's why we're all here, you know? And like, and the best way to get justice for John O'Keefe is we got to go get the people that did it. And I will say, I shared this on Twitter. I said it on Will's stream tonight, which we'll talk about briefly. But like, you should listen to Randall's stream from 2 nights ago, I think it was. And it was really good. Like I highly recommend. I would not send you over there if I didn't highly recommend it. His stream, he did a 2-hour stream on this. And it was before, like it was before I gave my whole speech about like, let's focus on my case. He did it before I said that. So it wasn't motivated by that. He did this completely on his own with James Jackson, and they did an excellent stream about my charges, and they actually broke down and watched the videos, and you know, and they pointed like, dude, this is about John O'Keefe, man. Like, watch any of my streams. Like, the more I watch my streams of the protests that I held outside of D&E Pizza, I say John O'Keefe's name like 10 times more than I say Karen Reed's name. Like, so for all these people saying that there's this a conspiracy between Karen Reed and Turtleboy and he's just trying to help her out, go watch the protests. Go watch them. I say John O'Keefe's name like 1,000 times because that's what we're out there for. That's what we're here for is John O'Keefe. He's the victim. The antis like to claim John O'Keefe. And they're like, we're here for him. No, you're not. If you're here for the prosecution of Karen Reed, you're not here for John O'Keefe. You're here for a farce. You're here for a distraction. You're here for nonsense. You know, you're here for corruption. That's what you're here for. If you want, because there will never be justice for John O'Keefe without justice for Karen Reed. They can't coexist, right? Karen Reed gets convicted, it's over. That's it. The door is shut on John O'Keefe. Karen Reed being acquitted means the door is open. Means other people not named Karen Reed, everyone except for Karen Reed, could be prosecuted now for the murder of John O'Keefe. Even if Karen Reed admitted it tomorrow, they couldn't prosecute her, but she wouldn't do that, of course, because she didn't do it, right? And we all know that. And it was just such a great day. So I look back on those pictures and I'm like, man, the weather was perfect. It was like the best. Like if that was in the winter, it would have been a totally different ball game. It wouldn't have been nearly as memorable. Like I would have been there, but just the weather and everything. And Dedham, I love Dedham. Like I hate going to Boston. I hate fucking going to my new courthouse in Norfolk Superior Court. I hate fucking parking and just pain in the ass. Like Dedham is the best. Like there's like 5 exits off of 95. Like the whole 95 like surrounds the town of Dedham. I think it's the border, like the whole fucking thing. You can just pick your choice of exits. They all go to Dedham. And there's so much parking in the registry of deeds and it's like nice down there. There's places to eat. It's just fucking beautiful. I love downtown Dedham. It's the best. But yeah, so there we go. So it was nice. But anyway, just want to address this real quick. So I was a little bit late today because I was on a stream with Will for like 2 hours prior to this. I did not plan on doing this. Okay. So as you guys know, on Sunday, I did a little rant here early on in the show in which I was like saying, I don't remember the exact words I said, but I said something to the effect of anybody who's not talking about my case and like analyzing it is dead to me. Anyone who's focusing on the drama is dead to me. I said something like that. And I go, and that includes Will and Jess. I don't know if I said Jess by name, but I definitely said Will by name. Okay. And so, you know, a lot of the trolls ran with that. They're like, oh, he's telling him what to do. It's a cult. He's doing this and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, I messaged Will. I texted him and I'm like, that was not intended as a shot at you. Like, I'm not telling you what to do. But he definitely took it that way. And so I got my first petty. He started a petty on me. And, you know, I started watching in 10 minutes and it became clear to me that he misinterpreted what my overall message was and like what I was trying to say. And so, you know, guys are different. We can just air shit out and figure it out, you know, and we can argue a little bit and then everything's fine. And that's exactly what happened. I highly suggest watching this stream about how adults handle differences. Like when you first started doing it, people are like, oh my God, I was getting texts from people telling, don't do it. Oh my God, take a deep breath and blah, blah, blah. It's under control. It's under control. Okay. Everything, I know what I'm doing. It's under control, right? I am going to, men and women for that, you know, for the adults can talk about their differences, right? And they can air it out. I would have preferred it privately, but whatever, let's do it publicly. That's fine too. Maybe it was a good thing that it was done publicly. I actually think it was a good thing that it was done publicly because I think a lot of people misinterpreted my words or like, let's just end it. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, it was at the expense of Jessica Machado, right? That was kind of like the big loser in all this today was Jess, which does make me sad because I do like Jess. I have she's been there for me a lot as a friend. I appreciate that. I value that. But this is how I feel. Okay. And so like, I told him that when I said on my thing the other day that like, why did I say that? Why did I say his name? Well, I said that because I didn't want to make it seem like I was taking sides. And I'll read the text that I sent to him. I said to him, I said, hey man, I just wanted to reach out again and say, thanks for everything. That rant was not about you. It was about her. Okay. I said, I wanted everyone to discuss the case and stop the drama because I knew that you would and that she wouldn't. And it would illustrate who the problem is. And that's exactly what happened. Okay. And I knew when I said that, I'm like, I knew in my head, I'm like, they're going to, you know, like, you know what really made me want to do it was I was seeing all the antis, like the foreskin girls, bro, they know more about my past than my biggest supporters do. And that's not an exaggeration. Like they watch my shit more than anyone. And they've got clips of everything. And that is where my charges came from. Okay. Is that these people research and watch my shit. And, you know, and I was just frustrated over the weekend because I am watching on my own hours and hours, hundreds of hours of my own streams. And I'm looking for things that can help with my case. And I'm just frustrated because I'm like, I have so many supporters and so many followers who would gladly help out if I just asked, you know what I mean? And I also have supporters who have their own channels who can do this themselves. You know what I mean? Who can do this themselves, who can, you know, go on their YouTube presentations and break this down like they're breaking it down, except tell the truth instead of lie, you know? And that's important because Melanie does that. When I watch Melanie streams, I'm like, she has been on fire recently, man, on fire. And that's what we need. Maybe it's like I saw the dedication that everyone had to Cameron Reed's case and people knew it, especially the closer we got to trial, the more into the documents everyone got, the more into the weeds everyone got. And I'm headed for a trial in a little more than 5 months if this motion to dismiss doesn't work. And it's like, I would love to see the same energy that was geared towards Karen. Like we need that energy for me now, right? Because I'm the one going on trial now. I'm the one. This isn't a small thing. This is a very big deal. Okay. You know, there is a lot on the line here, like potential 90 years in jail. A day in jail is horrible, right? Anything could happen. And we need all hands on deck. And I see that the people who are dedicated to destroying me are so focused, man. They are focused. They are on this shit. They are clipping everything. They are better than this, than we are, right? And they're not, but they're more dedicated right now. That was the problem, right? And so I just needed to go on Sunday and just change the tone, okay? And say, we need to fucking focus. And because seeing them do that, and then seeing my people having a 2-week war about a psycho who sent sex toys to the baker in Denmark. Like we're going on 2 weeks of this shit, you know? And it's like they fire and then they fire and then they fire and they fire. And I see this all on my stream and I don't see anybody talking about my case. But not that I'm like, should be the center of attention, but it's a big fucking deal. It's the First Amendment is on trial here. Okay. And we need to focus. Right. And that's what I need. And so I went on there and I just said, because if I went on there and I said, Jess needs to cut this shit. Right. But no one else. How's that look? It looks like I'm picking sides, right? It looks like I'm picking on her and piling on her. And I'm not going to do that, you know? And so even though I thought that she was much more in the wrong than they were, right? I kind of went on my YouTube presentation and I was like, they're both in the wrong equally. And that's kind of the way I made it seem. But I didn't actually believe that. And I thought, like a lot of people thought when they read it, that like they could read between the lines and they got it. And I thought Will could do that. I think the Baker did read between the lines, but I don't think Will did. And so it was a misunderstanding. Okay. And I think that he took it the wrong way, that I didn't mean it to be like. And here's the thing. Okay. And so I went on there and we hashed it out we argued for like the first 15, 20 minutes. And then adults, this is what they do. They find common ground, right? And they discuss things. They get to the bottom of it because you're not enemies. You know what I mean? And that's what you do, right? You get to the bottom of it. And so, and this is also amplified by the fact that I've got crazy honey bunnies in my inbox lecturing me about how I'm disrespectful to Jess when I have been anything but that, anything. And I wanted to like send the message, like, put your hose on a fucking leash, because get them out of my fucking inbox now. Like, I got people texting me about this. Oh, actually, did you see the Baker actually said this or stream? I don't give a fuck about any of that. Get these, and I blame her because it's like, this is drama, nonstop fucking drama that I don't fucking need. And the insensitivity of anyone to message me about fucking this shit when I got real fucking problems going on. I just want to smack them. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you, Gen D? What the fuck is wrong with you? Seriously. And then I saw, I'm seeing shit. Like, and I saw Jess went on her thing the other day, and she said something to the extent of that, and by the way, Jess has an open invite to come on here, and I will go on her show whenever, and I'll get to that in a second. But I get all these fucking people, and they're pissing me off too, and I just fucking let it out, okay? Because I've had enough. And I wanted everyone to stop, right? Because somebody always has to get the last fucking word, right? So let's just stop. Just let her have the last word, whatever. Who cares, right? I think she's wrong. I think the attacks on her went a little overboard with some people talking about, racism and all this other. I'm like, let's just focus. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. We can be better than that, etc. And anyway, I'll go on hers tomorrow. Like, the offer has been sent because I went on Will's today because that's what adults do. Adults talk about their fucking differences. Adults talk about the differences. They figure it out. Whatever. Okay, that's it. And I care about Jess, and I hate seeing her like this. I watch her self implode. But I told Will tonight I don't recognize her anymore. Right? The 𝗪𝐶𝗶 𝗧𝘂𝗍, I know that I got to know in jail, when I'm on the phone, when she's writing stories, when I'm in the courtroom, when I'm having really deep one-on-one insightful conversations with her. That is not the person I see on her show. That is a completely different person. I don't know who that person is. The person I talk to on the phone is not an arrogant, and I think she can't fucking deny she's arrogant. When you say I'm always right, what, you know what I mean? Like literally, like, I'm always right. Like, what? Okay. Nobody's always right. Nobody's always right. And so I'm like, so I'd be lying. Like, I don't watch her show because I don't have, it's not even a show. It's just a woman on a phone driving around, and I like her, and I think she's better than that. That's it. And I don't know what it is. Right. I think she's talented, and it's just like, I guess when I'm out here and I need people in my corner, right, to get my story, like I need like what I did for Karen Reed. Like, when there was drama going on before the Karen Reed trial, I squashed that shit. That's why I blocked Jimmy during the Aussie Wars, because I'm like, I had to be like, no drama. We don't have time for drama. We got Karen Reed's to free. You know what I mean? We don't have time for this. All hands on deck. We can do the drama afterwards. All hands on fucking deck. Let's go. And I need that same energy from my people, right? From people who are in my corner, who have my back. I need that same energy from them. And Jess has 2-3 hour shows every day and has never spoken about my case. Literally ever. Never spoken about my case. Never broken down the documents, you know what I mean? Nothing. And it's just like, how is that not talking about, any case? It's just fucking drama. I don't like it. And adults should be able to have a conversation and say, here's what I like, here's what I don't like. And she can say, well, whatever. And then we talk about it, and that's that. You can't take it so personally. You can't be like, let's not talk at all. Like, let's just not, like what me and Will just did there, hashing that shit out. That's what it's all about right there. Two people who are clearly upset with each other. Well, he was really more upset with me. Fucking yelling, raising your voices, figuring shit out, getting to the bottom of it, and moving on. It felt really good. It felt therapeutic to do it. You have to be able to do that, right? And so I did ask her. I said, I will skip my bus stop live. And the other thing I really didn't like was the husband throwing haymakers at me. What the fuck did I do to him? Jeffy, you're the husband. Okay. You know what I mean? You're the spouse, bro. Chill. There's nothing I hate more than a tough guy act. I'll fucking kick that guy's ass. Shut the fuck up. You'll do nothing. Okay. Stay in Fall River. Okay. Where you belong. All right. I hate that shit. If I had a spouse and they were taking shots at Jess like that, like that's like an extension of you kind of, and it's like, put your hoe on a leash, put your hoe on a fucking leash. That's the way I view that. When I was with Meredith, if she was out there attacking my supporter, she didn't do that till after we broke up, right? If we were together and she was out there openly attacking my fucking supporters, I would have put that, I'd be like, no, that's not going to fly. That's not going to fly. No, we can't be doing that. No, this isn't going to work out if you're going to do that. That's just me. Because I'm like, it's viewed as an extension of you, whether or not you want to admit it. And it wasn't cool. And it's like, I could go on, and I'm not going to. I did, I like to talk about shit. I like to talk through shit. I think that people, I like Jess. And even on tonight, when I did my whole preamble the other day, I said great things about her. And I meant every word. I will never forget the good times, right? I will never forget all the good shit that she has done for me. Okay. I will never forget how she got the truth out. When I was in jail about, why I was in there, the truth behind it, I gave her the fucking, recording of Flipperhead and, Lydia. Right. And she posted it anonymous. She's like, didn't say it was from me. I think she even lied about where it came from. Right. To cover for me. But to me, I was just mad at Flipperhead, and I thought it was hypocritical. I thought it was fucking hilarious that one of the guys that was kind of behind the recording gate thing with the koala had done the same. I thought that was fucking wild and too good not to get out there. Right. But, so could I have posted myself? Certainly. But I just fucking gave it to her to post, I don't give a shit. Fuck you if you don't like it. I did what I did. But I just want to address this real quick, right? Because she's texting me during the show, telling me I'm very disappointed. She says I'm very disappointed in you, and I'm reading these out loud because she can't say that this is fucked up. I'm reading this out loud because she literally repeats our conversations all the time on her show. So what's fair is fair. Okay. So she says, I am so very disappointed in you. Yikes. I interviewed you in jail when not one member of the press wanted to. And I've said how much I appreciate that. Okay. Every single time you called me from jail, no matter where it was, I picked up the phone. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. I wrote the article about Lindsay. You asked me to because you couldn't. If you did that, you should, to me, that story should get out because it's newsworthy. Like, this public figure is in jail and nobody knows why. That's not a favor to me. That's fucking news. You know, like, that's like news. And she says, I interviewed 𝗫𝗏. Okay. As long as I'm physically able, I cover every single one of your court hearings to ensure there was truth being tweeted. 100%. And this is why I like Jess. And this is why I'll never forget about how important she was and all the good shit. I don't forget the good shit. I don't forget any of this. I appreciate all this, right? I picked up the phone every time you called me. I testified on the stand that I called Meredith's work. But you were called to the stand. I mean, but you did call Meredith. I don't. That happened. You know, it's just like, I went against my rule of raising money for everyone and raised you $10,000. See, fuck that. I don't like that. She raised me $10,000. The people watching the show donated. See, I don't like that. I disagree. To me, that's like, I went against my rule of, she didn't have to come on. There's plenty of people that would have come on from the 7 to 8 hour. Plenty of people that would have come on from the 7 to 8 hour. And we would have raised a lot of money. So I don't like that. I lost friends in real life for standing by you. Well, then they weren't really a friend. I gave you my seat in the courtroom, and I've thanked her a million times for that. I'm forever grateful because of that to them, you know? I'm very sorry I don't talk about your case on my show. I just figured I did my share. Yeah. Many people talk about you, but they make money doing it. Easy to do. Yes, there are a lot of people who make money talking about me, for sure. But that's okay. You know, it's America. Make money. Go ahead. I will not give in to the extreme feelings of anger and turn on you even now. I wish you well and hope you win your case. So I appreciate that. And there's no reason it has to turn into that. Like, people expect me to blow up, and I'm not going to do that ever. I'll never do that with her. Right. And so it's just like, I want to reach common ground. You know, I want to have a conversation with this, and it has to be publicly. Because everything she discusses is public, so we got to do it publicly now, right? And so I'm like, I go, if you want, I'll go on your stream and have the same conversation with you. And she said, I wouldn't do that to you. I go, you have done that to me. And, you know, maybe you missed it. Like, but your husband disrespected me on there. And when my husband loves me, he's very protective of me, doesn't care about anything other than my feelings. Yeah, I go, he took shots at me. It would have been anyone who was hurting his wife. I'm not hurting her. I didn't hurt her. I didn't do anything to her. You know, I go, my offer stands to have this discussion tomorrow on your channel tomorrow morning instead of me doing the bus stop live. She goes, I stand by every single thing I've done for you and reason behind it. I am a good person who cares for you and for what is right. I spent years doing right by you and treating you with kindness and love. It's not my problem that you question my motives. It's a mistake to do so because you're wrong. And I don't know what to say to that. Basically, I'm right, I'm wrong about everything. She's right about everything. Everything she did was perfect. She did good things for me, so I'm never ever allowed to criticize her, I guess. And when like people come at me and her husband comes at me, it's just, I just have to accept that. And I'm not allowed to be like, I don't think this is a good thing. I object to this. Like, because she did good things. And I go, let's talk about this publicly. Like I just did with Will tomorrow morning on your stream. I go, read your response to me and you will see what the problem is. You are incapable of saying that you're sorry. You know, you will have 𝗵𝗵𝗏 on your show to have a tough conversation, but not me, because I'm sure she'll talk about me tomorrow by herself when I'm not there. And here I am putting it out there. I will skip my stream in the morning in which I make money, right? I will not do that. I will go on her stream. She can make the money, right? And we can have a conversation there, or you can talk by yourself. And that was my criticism with her, is that she is so good at what she does, man. She is the best reporter. She is. Nobody tells a story like her. Nobody gets to the truth. Nobody asks questions like she asks outside of the courthouse, right? She's the best. Okay. But these compliments I'm giving her right now, she will ignore all of these. She will pretend like I'm not saying these things. And she will focus on the one negative thing I said. Okay. And it's like, so that's my problem, is that I want, like, let's fucking talk about it. You know, let's air this all out like I just did with Will, and we'll be good. You know what I mean? We'll be good. We'll be good. So, and I go, this is why I'd like to have a conversation with you, because it doesn't seem like you will ever admit you were wrong about anything. And I go, she gives me a thumbs up. I go, yes or no. She goes, I see zero value in it. Thanks for the offer. So, and now that's the problem, is that the person I know is very reasonable and can be talked to, and we can have a real good conversation about it. And she could tell me where she's coming from, and I will listen. And if I feel like, if I've done her wrong in any way and she can explain that to me, why she feels that way, I will apologize. I'll say sorry. But that can't happen unless we have a conversation, right? And I see this one, okay? Like, this is one of the honey bunnies. Another hate stream. Great. Pile on, pile on, pile on. Have so much fun. And this is the problem, is her chat will be filled with people like this tomorrow, right? And it's not a pile on if I'm inviting her to come on. An invitation has been extended in which we have an adult conversation and we talk about it. And that's it. That's it. That's not a pile on. If she declines the conversation, then there's no conversation to be had, right? I don't know what you want me to do. I can't talk. I can't make her come on. I can't go on hers if she won't have me on, right? I don't know what else to say. Will was pissed at me today, and he still had me on, okay? And so it's like, the person I know, and here I am saying nice things. And that's the thing. This Misty person, this is the problem, is here I am saying really nice things about Jess, right? That how good she is. She's the best fucking reporter. Like, how is that? What bigger compliment can you get than that? And this person just hears, this is a pile on. Well, go fucking die in a hole, Misty. How about that for a pile on? Go die in a fucking hole. It's your time to get in a fucking hole. Okay? Shut up. You know? Okay. And then she's texting me now saying, no, we're good. No need for a show conversation. But I will guarantee you she will go on tomorrow and talk about me by herself. That's cowardly. That's cowardly. If you can't talk to somebody face to face and have a discussion with them, who's the coward? Who's the adult? You know, that's it. So anyway, like I said, she's really good when you have one-on-one conversations with her, all that stuff. Okay. And a great reporter and all this, but I hear her on the show, and this is a professional criticism. I don't know that person. Like, that person has progressively over time turned into something I don't like. Okay. And it's just never wrong, always right about literally says that I'm always right. Right? Like that takes any sort of criticism and just gets comes at people. One thing I don't like how she calls Nurse Kim Kimberly. I think that's fucking demeaning. Like Kimberly. Like I don't know what, that's one little thing that fucking gets to me. Okay? Her name's Kim. Nobody calls her Kimberly. Everybody calls her Nurse Kim. And it's just like one way of being like, well, I call you this, and it's just kind of a way to put you down a little bit, And like with the Purple Kool-Aid guy, like that guy was a fucking soldier for her. That guy was like such her biggest fucking defender, and he had one criticism. And that was that he didn't like one of her mods named Pat Ford because he said that I should go to jail. And now for that, he was just attacked. And so I'm just like, it's just like, we got to be able to take criticism. We have to be in this line of work. We have to be able to take criticism, especially when you dish it, especially when your whole shtick is, I talk shit about people. We got to be able to take it. You have to be able to have these conversations. If not, it ain't the line of work for you, or maybe it is, but you're not going to have as much success as you're hoping for. That's my opinion, Right. Okay. Anyway, so if she wants to have a conversation, I'll do that, but I don't think she's about that. I think she'd rather just go in her echo chamber and see the bunnies in the chat, the honey bunnies, and then they tell her how great she is, and she feeds off of that, and she turns into this thing I don't recognize. So anyway, that's all I'm saying about that. Trying to be as positive as I can be. I refuse to let this turn into a whole fucking thing. I'm back at my stuff tomorrow. Okay. And that's the end of that. All right. So anyway, I said sorry to the glare tonight. Like for all the people that are like, you think you're never wrong. I'm wrong all the time. Like I'm frequently wrong. Right. And like I listen to my old streams. And I'm like, I was wrong about that. Holy shit, I was fucking wrong. Right. And, I'm wrong about, if I could go back and handle so many things differently, I fucking would, man. You don't think I would handle Recording Gate completely fucking differently if I could? You don't think I fucked up there? You don't think I fucked that one up? Like, think of what I cost myself doing that. That was a huge mistake on my part. Like if I had just said from the beginning, yeah, here's what happened, instead I denied it. And that was the cause of all this. Right. And so like, whatever, like, so yeah, you don't think I'm kicking myself over that? You don't think I would wake up fucking every day in like October and November and wished I did things fucking differently and realize what a mistake I made? I make mistakes all the fucking time. And, you just got to learn from them. And when you do somebody wrong, like I did Nurse Kim wrong, you got to apologize publicly. Like, you just got to do it. But anyway, that's that. I'm not talking about like the actual act of hitting a button. To me, that wasn't nearly as, the problem was denying it. Like I should have been like, yeah. And okay, it's between me and Karen Reed. And I would have handled things differently with her too, Because obviously I fucked that one up. And I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to. But it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, this is a problem. I was on bail too. Like it's a felony. And so you're like, well, I can't put this in writing. That was the conundrum with Karen. When she confronted me about that and she messaged me, I'm like, well, I would like to tell you the truth, right? But I can't tell you the truth in writing because I'm on bail, right? And so I'd like to just call her, but she understandably won't take my phone call because she thinks it'll happen again. And so I'm like stuck in this position. Like, what do I go to her fucking house? What do I do now? And it just festered. And she got more pissed off about it as time went on. And eventually she aired, was telling people, like venting to people about it, venting to Joe Flipperhead about it, venting to others about it, venting to JFK about it, right? That's how it was just her venting. It's her venting that I was like, not held accountable for that, I guess, that I had done her wrong. And I think that she misunderstood. Like, I had no bad intentions doing that. I wasn't going to do anything. I had no intention to. I didn't share it with anyone. Like, sometimes I just do that. It's like, and sometimes there's, why I do it sometimes? I've recorded people before. It's like, I've recorded people because I'm like, a lot happens and you want to, if a lot happens in a 10-minute period of time and you just forget it. Like, I was really tempted today. Who did I want to record today? But I didn't. I almost asked them to record it. I'm not going to say, but somebody who's a business thing, right? And I record my kid's doctor. No, his orthodontist. But I did ask him to record because I go, I'm not going to remember any of this shit. So can I just record it? I recorded the pool guy when he came and helped set up my pool. I asked him to. I go, because I'm not going to remember all this shit. And so sometimes that is my number one reason for recording people is when I want to remember like go back and listen to it again. Like, did that just happen? Like, what did they say? Oh shit. And if I retell the story to someone, I want to be like, wait a minute. Okay. I don't want to get the facts wrong. Like, this is what happened. And so I don't do it for malicious purposes. I've never like recorded somebody and been like, hey, here's what you fucking said on the hot mic. Give me fucking $1,000 or else. Like, that would be bad. If I had been like, Karen, you better come on my fucking, you better come on my documentary or else I'm going to release this. Like that would be fucked up. I agree. That's not what happened. That's the fantasy fairy tale that has been created. And again, why was that fairy tale created? Because I lied about it. If I had just told the truth, none of this would happen, right? So anyway, I'm sorry to Karen Reed. And I wish none of this shit ever fucking happened. I deeply regret it, but it is what it is now. But we got bigger fish to fry. Her and I have bigger fish to fry, especially me. Anyway, that's that. Okay. So we're an hour into the show now. We haven't done anything. So let's read some turtle chat, shall we? All right. All right, today's the 16th. Okay, we got a bunch of turtle chats here. Okay, we'll bang through these as quickly as we can. Where'd it go? All right. Cali Twins Kelly sends $50 and goes, hey, Dr. Turtleboy, shout out to Laura from London for leaving us the sweetest message with our merch order. She said she recognized our name and thanked us for being supporters, our donating to you and buying stuff from the store. It was very cool to get a personalized voice message. Doesn't she sound like a Disney character? It's like so sweet when you hear her voice. And she goes, thank you from her. We love all the stuff and we'll be ordering more soon. Love you, Aidan. #FreeTurtleboy. She sounds like a Peppa Pig character. She left a message for my kids one time saying she was Peppa Pig, and they thought it was actually her. So thank you very much. I appreciate that, Cali Twins. Mike Gianetti, my guy, sends $10, goes, hey, Turtlefuck, give me my copyright back. In all seriousness, is the relevance of Karen entering Jen McCabe's phone data with Allie's Life 360 movement purely just more evidence to further prove it? I believe Bev wouldn't allow this into trial. I know David had Allie's 360 data and used it to try to impeach her. I went back and watched it again today. What's the difference between Allie's versus Jen's? Sorry if this is retarded to ask. I don't really understand your question. I don't really understand your question. But I do know that I don't think that Allie's 360. So Allie got confirmed. She admitted she denied the Life 360 data in the trial, but what she denied was that, if I recall, the Life 360 data showed she was out till 1:30, and she said she was out till 12:30. She was home by 12:30. And she said she wasn't near the high school, but the data shows that she was. So what's up with that? The new information that has come out as part of this Colin drama back and forth, we got to talk about Colin tonight, is that she never picked him up. Okay? So we got to talk about that for a minute, because the ramifications for this are just wild. Let's bring up the text message first, because we got to talk about this text message. Hold up. TV Daily News. Colin, Allie McCabe. Text message. So go read Canton Cover Up, part 164. Boston Magazine story confirms that Colin left 34 Fairview Road at 12:10 by using unverified text screenshot from Allie McCabe. Okay. So Gretchen Voss's story was that she goes, Voss also spoke with Colin Albert, who told her that he was picked up by his cousin at 12:10 a.m., saw Brian Albert on his way out, and that this was confirmed by Boston Magazine via text messages provided by them. So even foregoing the missing cell phone data, though there are some possible holes in Reed's alternative theory. For starters, the thesis that O'Keefe was assaulted inside 34 Fairview hinges on Colin Albert's allegedly contentious relationship with O'Keefe. No, it doesn't, Gretchen. No, it doesn't, because Gretchen, this is why one of the biggest mistakes Karen Reed ever made was not telling me about Brian Higgins. She tells me the truth about Brian Higgins. This is a totally different story. I believe Colin Albert was involved. I will always believe. I don't care how many times they sue me. I will never stop believing that Colin Albert was involved in this. I will never stop believing that Brian Albert was involved in this. But those two took the brunt of it from the public because Karen Reed never told me about the Higgins shit. That's such a big fucking part of the story. So, and as a result of this, the focus was on Colin and Brian Albert. Okay. And so when Gretchen Voss says this, when she goes that the thesis that O'Keefe was assaulted inside 34 Fairview hinges on Colin Albert's allegedly contentious relationship with O'Keefe. No, it doesn't, actually. It doesn't hinge on that. But it does if we don't know about the Higgins text messages. It does. And this is a real problem. Right? Because without the Higgins text message, the biggest theory is Colin's relationship with John. Right? And quite frankly, that's not nearly as strong a motive as Brian Higgins. And so you can't blame Gretchen Voss for not knowing that if Karen Reed didn't disclose it to her or me. And so I think this is a big, and this article, prior to this article coming out, there was no anti-Karen Reed movement. It didn't exist, right? There was nobody. This is the turning point. The Gretchen Voss article was the turning point in which an anti-Karen Reed movement began. Because this article is anti-Karen Reed and overall paints her in a negative light and paints me in a negative light, right? And so if Karen had told the truth about Higgins, which is an uncomfortable truth, but still your life is on the line, you got to let the world know, you know? In an exclusive interview, though, Colin Albert told Boston, so she interviewed Colin, that he walked out of the house at 34 Fairview right when Brian Albert was arriving, said hello, and stepped into the car of his cousin, who then drove him home, even though Allie's not his cousin. According to court documents, no one else, including O'Keefe, had arrived by that point. Text messages. But wait a minute. But I thought Brian Higgins got there first. Brian Higgins testified he was there first. That's weird. Text messages, which Boston has seen, but not verified, confirms that he was picked up at 12:10 a.m. It's like, this is a lie to say that these are text messages that Boston has seen. No, Boston has seen screenshots of purported text messages. That's the way that sentence should have been written. Screenshots of purported text messages. That when he walked out of the house, blah, 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 confirms that he was picked up at 12:10 a.m. and his parents say he was home for the rest of the night. All of which counters the theory that his animosity with Colin led to O'Keefe's death inside the house within minutes of his arrival. And then his friends tossed him onto the lawn in a blizzard to die. This is the paragraph that really changed everything, because this is not true. This is not fact checked like a reporter should do, because this is the screenshot she was shown, not by Colin Albert, but by Chris Albert. He's the one that had this screenshot. And it says at the top, Colin, which means Allie McCabe claims to have taken this screenshot. And why does Chris Albert have a screenshot from Allie McCabe? Shouldn't she get this directly from Allie McCabe? Shouldn't she ask to see Allie McCabe's phone? Shouldn't she ask to see Colin Albert's phone to verify this? She goes on to say, this is my issue with the message. A lot of people focus on, like, are the bubbles right? You know, they notice here that, see how it doesn't say next day? See how it doesn't say, like, says 11:55 here and then 12. People are like, it should say this. It should say January 29th then, right here. But I did a test on that, and that's not true. It doesn't automatically do that. I thought the same. So a lot of people are focusing on that, that's not there, but that's not true. Okay. So, like, let's get facts. Let's get our facts right. That's not necessarily true. Try it. But what I think is the biggest thing here, okay, is a couple things. Number one, where's the Cellbrite report? Why is this a screenshot? Okay. Number two, it says Colin Albert. Show us a phone number. Well, you don't have to show the public the phone number. But you can enter any name in as Colin. Okay. This could be anyone. There's no evidence this is Colin Albert. It probably is. You know, I'm not saying it's not Colin Albert, but that's not reporting. That's not like vetting your reporting. Okay. And then it says, you can get me now. So again, Colin Albert's story is that he was at Mikey Leonidas' house. And he wanted to go to Brian Albert's house so that he could say happy birthday to his gay autistic cousin, Ogre Brian Albert Jr., in person, who's like 6 years older than him. For some reason, the 17-year-old high school senior had to do that in person. He can't just send him a text like, happy birthday, cuz he has to do it in person. Okay. Leonetti, I saw it. I say Leonidas, whatever. Leonetti, thank you. So he's got to go there in person to do this. And Allie McCabe gives him a ride there. And then he's like, okay, the clock strikes midnight. I have to go home before I turn into a pumpkin. Right before his fun uncle arrives and the party's really getting started, right? He's like, I have to leave. That story never made any sense to me. And imagine if this is a valid text message, but that Colin is at Mike Leonetti's house and he goes, you can come get me now. What if he's at Mikey Leonetti's house there? There is no evidence that you can come get me now from 34 Fairview Road from Brian Albert's house. It doesn't say that. It just says you can come get me now. Okay, I'm driving people home now. Word. Get me after. KK here. But it doesn't say where here is at 12:10, does it? Another problem with this text is that they don't talk again until February 20th. And you want to tell me that two high school seniors who were at a house 10 minutes before his neighbor and a Boston cop was murdered outside that house, allegedly, that they just never discussed it for 3, and they don't talk for 3 weeks. They just never talk, whatever. I guess it happened on Snapchat. I guess. I don't know. Okay. I find that hard to believe because, and again, this should be easy to prove. To me, a screenshot of a text doesn't prove shit. This is so easily manipulated. Okay. And what's this I did? Yeah, this shows, what am I showing here? This shows, yeah, watch how easily I get rid of our messages from April 18th. I just picked a random guy. See April 19th? Watch that. Get rid of 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 that. And that. And that. And then we didn't talk on April 18th, did we? On April 19th. We waited till April 20th to talk. See? It's that easy. It's that easy. See? Okay. So, you know. So now you got this new filing. Apparently, I mean, think about this now. Now that it says in the new filing that her 360 data, Life 360 data, shows that she never went to Colin's house or to 34 Fairview Road. So I'm just like mind blown by this. Because what does I still haven't figured out what this means. Like, what does this mean? Does this mean he never left? Does this mean Colin never left? Does this mean that Big Bad Brian made him stick around? Go get the Ford Edge. Because he did drive a Ford Edge. What is going on here? And I've long believed that Colin Albert, and I don't give a fuck. You're allowed to say this in America. I'm not going to be bullied or intimidated by Christopher Maddie or James Tuxbury, who, by the way, is a joke. Watch Brother Counsel's stream on the emails between Tuxbury and Rosenberg, attorney Rosenberg, and you will see what a joke this attorney is. Like, he messages he was so mad about what they said in court about Colin not showing up, not being deposed. As it turns out, Colin was deposed, just not by Karen Reed's attorneys, which isn't really a deposition. They basically had a deposition without him. Right? So that doesn't count. That does not count. Okay? Anyway, so yeah. So he's a joke, and I don't care how many times they want to amend the complaint. Means nothing to me. Okay? I believe Colin did it or was involved in it. I don't know who did what. I've always said this. Go watch any of my old streams. I don't know who did what, but I believe Colin's involved because it's the only thing that makes sense to me, because he was killed inside that house. I'm sure of it. I can't, there's no other conclusion I can reach. I cannot come to terms with anything besides that happening. I can't do it. You want me to lie? You want me to get up here and say, well, actually, he wasn't killed inside the house? I don't believe that. So what are you supposed to do if you don't believe that? I don't believe that. I believe he was killed inside the house. I believe and I have evidence to back that up. Way more evidence than evidence that he was hit by a car, which simply doesn't exist. So I'm like, okay. What I think happened, the more I think about it, is I think that I definitely think Higgins was started it. I think that had to be the catalyst for this whole thing. Fight happens. Who the fuck knows? John's drunk. John, from what all of John's friends say, he's not a fighter, whatever. But he's also not a bitch. You know, he's not a bitch. He's not a pussy. Like, and this dude is trying to fuck his girlfriend and he's drunk. They're both drunk. You know, who knows what they said to each other. I think Higgins started it and I think the Alberts finished it. That's what I think happened. And I think Colin accidentally did something stupid because he's the dumbest one of them all. And I think he accidentally did something stupid and that caused John to fall down, hit his head, cause that laceration, right? A kind of a 1 in a million angle, causes his fucking raccoon eyes. I think it happened real quick. I think he started puking on himself. That's why there's puke on his boxer shorts. I think he started convulsing. And I think they realized right away this guy's going to die. And luckily, they have murder police there. And I just feel like the murder police are going to know what to do in a murder, right? Especially how to get away with it. And all these people, people like, why would they do that? Like, probably because they want to get away with it. Well, that's a crazy thing. Why is it crazy? They got away with it. It worked. It actually worked. It's the puzzles, the pieces of the puzzle all fit. The dog bit. The fact that the dog bit him means Brian Albert had to be right there. Anybody who knows anything about dogs knows a dog is loyal to its owner, right? And a dog is going to protect its owner. If the owner is involved in a physical confrontation with somebody else like that, the dog is going to get involved, period. The dog biting John's arm, which did happen to me, is all the evidence I need to know that Brian Albert was involved in this fight, which turned into a murder. I believe that to my core. You put a gun to my head and say, live or die. If you get this wrong, you're dead. Do you think that Brian Albert, Colin Albert, and Brian Higgins were involved in murdering John O'Keefe? I say yes, with pretty good confidence that I will live, that I'm not going to die if I give that is the right answer. I believe that. Sorry. And the extent to which they have gone to protect this kid, right? He's not a kid, this punk. He's a punk, right? I've seen, he's a punk to me outside of C.F. McCarthy's. The shit he was saying at 5150 was like fucking nuts. Harassing her. I mean, this is before we knew. This is when they were only harassing her because she was with me, right? They're calling her pregnant, saying she was, well, she belongs in a loony bin. Okay, maybe you're right. You know, Jill Dady says, "Where's your top lip? Where's your top lip?" You know, okay, we'll let that one slide. But either way, like that was a bold move on his part. Like, you know, who says that to somebody's when they're like he's doing that? They attacked her that day to provoke me. They weren't doing it because they had anything against her personally. They were saying shit to her because they wanted me to defend her, right? That's all they wanted me to do. That's what they wanted. And they wanted to get to me. And that's it. And so he's a punk. I've seen it up close. He is a punk. He's got his dad's cop calling nonsense to him too. Like he can play the victim too. He's a tough guy, but he's also a victim. He's really good at playing both hands. They never spoke with him. They never interviewed him, right? They got him out of there, right? They tried so hard to tell us that he was not inside a house where no one was killed, according to them. So what does it matter if he was inside the house? Why are you trying so hard to tell us that this kid wasn't in the house? Why? I see those bang bang videos. Oh, but he's never been in a fight before. Yeah, right. He's a liar too. He's also a liar. He lied about never being in a fight. He lied about how his knuckles got like that. They did not get like that from falling on the ice. It is physically impossible. No fucking way. I don't believe that. No one believes that. So, you know, I think that Colin was involved, period. And you're allowed to think that. You're allowed to think that. Sorry. Anyway, let's get back to the turtle chats here. Cal sends $20 and goes, I downloaded Life 360 today to check it out for myself and the doctor. It could tell the difference between when I arrived home sitting in my driveway and when I walked through the front door. Wild. I'll have to try that too. It's just a free app. I'll have to try that out. I've never done it before, but I mean, these are people who all of the data is just to be ignored. That's what they're telling us. And we're the conspiracy theorists. The Life 360 data is not legit. The 227 Google search that was deleted isn't legit. The answered phone calls by Nicole Albert from Jennifer McCabe, those are not legit. The up and down 3 flights of stairs, that's not legit. That actually came from driving on a road. Somehow there's a glitch in an iPhone. Doesn't know the difference between stairs and driving on a road. All that shit. All like that is all to be ignored. All of it. None of it's real. But also data. Big data, guys. Big data, guys. Okay. All right, next. Eileen sends $10, goes, Colin was in the house. Turtleboy was right. I mean, he could prove me wrong, too. That's the thing about this. If I go out, I mean, they're suing me, right? The easiest way to try to win this lawsuit against me is to show positive evidence showing that Colin wasn't in the house at 12:20. It shouldn't be that hard. There should be lots of ways to do this, man. If I were them, I could come up with 1,000,001 ways to prove this that don't involve, trust me, bro. There's so much shit that they could use. Colin's like, does Colin have like 360 data? How about Colin's phone? It's Colin's fucking phone. These things track us wherever we go. Give me a break. Anyway, next. Tiffany sends $25, goes, thank goodness for someone interesting streaming tonight. Hashtag free Turtleboy. There's people, I appreciate the compliment, but there's people, interesting people streaming every day and every night these days. Brother Council, Melanie Little, the Baker, right? The Glare gave us some good content earlier, right? You know, that was real bro down we had there. It was good. There's no shortage of good content creators out there, so enjoy them all. Nurse Kim's Sunday brunch with Mr. Betterow. Great attorney, by the way. So go check that out. All right, next. Live It in New York sends $5, goes, love you, Turtleboy. So excited. I ordered my Turtleboy Was Right t-shirt today. I can't wait to probably wear it. F them all. Yes, everyone should do that, by the way. When you get your Turtleboy Was Right gear, man, send it to us, right? Send us pictures of it. We want to start using that for propaganda. I mean, I had I retweeted a girl today. She's very attractive, and she looked great in her Turtleboy Was Right shirt, and I gave it a retweet. And we love shit like that, so keep them coming because we are very attractive around here, aren't we? We have a lot of very attractive people who rock the merch and rock the brand and rep us nicely. So we're good-looking people, aren't we? So thank you. Next. Kelly and Mike sends $25 and goes, Aidan, it's hard to believe it's been a year. Thank you for never giving up and for shining a light on what so many believe to be corruption and injustice in Norfolk County and across Massachusetts. Your dedication to this case helped countless people pay attention, ask questions, and demand accountability. We are grateful for everything you've done, and we are standing with you as you continue to fight your own battles. Keep the faith, keep pushing forward, and know that so many of us have your back. Looking forward to the day the doctor is free too. Well, that's very sweet. Kelly and Mike, I appreciate the kind words. Next. Let's see. Joanna sends $10 and goes, hey, Leash Daddy. I always knew Colin was involved in the murder of John O'Keefe, but after watching Melanie's stream last night, I'm 100% convinced this entire cover-up has been to protect Colin. I've always thought that. The McAlberts would never go this far to protect Higgy, free Turtleboy. But conversely, Higgy wouldn't go this far to protect Colin unless Higgy was involved, right? That's what makes me think they're all involved, is they're all kind of stuck in this lie together. And they were very sussed. They were sus. They were worried about what Higgy was saying because he was not returning their phone calls. And when Higgy got on that stand and Higgy lied for them and Higgy did his thing and he was an honorary McAlbert again and everything was fine. I honestly think they had no idea what he was going to say. I think they were very nervous about the Higgins testimony. So thank you. Next. Darlene sends $10 and goes, What's up, Daddy? Turtleboy was right. Well, thank you, Darlene. I appreciate that. The other Mary B sends $5 and goes, "We are freeing turtles in this bitch. If Randall really supports you, that means he doesn't believe his lies about Ray. If Randall really wants to fight corruption, he will admit that and put an end to that BS so we can focus on what's important. #unity." Yeah. So, I was always team Ray with that, and I always will be, because I'll always pick Ray over them. Of course, not even close, not even a contest, because Ray is loyal and a huge supporter of mine and love that mofo. And what they did him dirty. And now, if I were him, I would never forget that. But at the same time, I probably would forget it, because I move on quickly from shit. And I kind of, I prefer burying hatchets, with some people. I think you got to be careful with Randall and James Jackson, because they're sneaky, right? And they don't always have the best intentions, right? But you can't deny that they're smarter and are more entertaining than BLT and Crawford, who are just talentless losers, and that they actually believe this shit, that they actually want justice for John O'Keefe and reach this conclusion on their own, right? Whereas I feel like BLT and Crawford are just followers who want to belong to something. That's all they are. They're just followers who want to belong to something, and they belong to me for a bit. That's why they joined the whole Karen Reed thing, is they just saw this as something that, I can belong in something, and I can get attention and build my brand this way, and I can wear my pocket squares and get a new fucking head of hair from this, and and I can have Mr. Betterow on, and I can do this, and I can do but the second things got tough for Mike Crawford when I went to jail, what did he do? He turned on Karen Reed. Never forget that, ladies and gentlemen. He turned on Karen Reed, and he said that Karen Reed might be guilty. He said that. Those aren't my words. Those are his. That she might have done this, looking at other things. I forget his exact words. It was something to that extent. And that, be nice to the McAlberts, he said. Be nice to the witnesses. Don't call them mean names anymore. Be nice to the witnesses. You have to be nice to them. That's what he said the second things got tough. And BLT, never forget that last week or 2 weeks ago, he shared the Buchanan's interview with Lucky Loughran, and he didn't talk at all about the fact that this is problematic, that 2 state troopers never looked into this tip about the Fort Edge, and instead focused on that these troopers, these detectives, Buchanan and Proctor, just grilled Lucky about wiretapping. And that's what BLT took out of it. He shared that. He didn't talk. He wasn't at all fazed by, the fact that they didn't look into the Fort Edge. Because you know why? Because that motherfucker doesn't care about justice for John O'Keefe. He doesn't. If you cared about justice for John O'Keefe, you would be outraged about the fact that they never looked into that Fort Edge. You would be outraged. You wouldn't give and you would see that them grilling Lucky about wiretapping was a distraction. If you even think about that, talk about that, or fall, you are falling for Buchanan's fucking bullshit propaganda, which is a distraction and a way to get you to look the other way. And the fact that he shared that further illustrates that he doesn't give a fuck about justice for John O'Keefe. They are the 2 biggest frauds in this whole thing. Neither of them gave a fuck. They just go with whatever way the wind's going. Whereas Randall and James Jackson really believe it. I think they really believe that. And I like those guys prior to the blow up. You got to be careful around them. They're sneaky. Okay. You can't trust them, but I think they believe it. And I think they're on the side of good. And, again, they had a good stream. So, they're never going to apologize to Ray. Well, they've been threatened with a lawsuit, so they'd be stupid to do that, because that would be like an admittance. I don't think they'll ever fucking do that. But I think the general public all knows now, especially the more time has gone by, that Alex, and I exposed that motherfucker. Like, Alex Ramser is a fucking liar. He's just a guy that went on the internet and said and bragged about sucking dick. That's it. That's all he is. He is a fake liar who was, sought out by a scorned ex and something called 𝗲𝗄𝗃 as part of their feud with Turtleboy. That's it. We all know. We all know it didn't happen. Randall knows it didn't happen. James Jackson knows it didn't happen. They all know, but they can't admit it. They're never going to admit it. And so I view that as like, demanding an apology. If you think you're going to get an apology out of them, it's never going to happen. And so I think I'm just content with the fact that I know that deep down inside that they know that that's all bullshit and it's over. Nobody believes this guy. Everybody knows Ray's a good dude. Like nobody believes it. Nobody. There isn't anyone out there who actually believes that Alex Ramsey got diddled. Nobody believes it because he's a fucking liar. And that's why they stopped talking about him all of a sudden. And like, oh, he went to the police and he filed a police report. Yeah, the police seem to really take that one seriously. Let me tell you, they took that one seriously. All right. Now, yeah, happy Pride Month to Alex Ramsey, by the way. Congratulations, bro. Have fun in that shed. The magical shed. Have some fun in there. All right, next. Romy sends $50, goes, shout out to Laura from London. I completely effed up something with my sex cult membership, then tried to fix it myself and somehow made it worse. Anyway, Laura was awesome. I got it all sorted out and was incredibly nice about it. Isn't she the best? What would I do without her? She's really the person behind all this whole thing. None of this could happen without Laura from London. Thank you. Laurie Johnson in England's playing tomorrow. So big day for her, I'm sure. Laurie Johnson sends $25 and goes, so happy that you and Will work things out. True friends and loyalty. Yeah, I mean, that's my homie, love you both. And we need to stay focused on your case. And you have many already helping. I love being part of this community. I'll always stand for you because without your freedom of speech is in danger. Thank you so much, Laurie. Hulda sends $10 and goes, the cases don't only affect you. They will be used in future cases of other YouTubers. I'm an Icelander living in Spain. Okay. And I've been following you and most other camera read YouTubers since before trial 1. I lived in Mass for over 40 years and can't believe how corrupt everything is there. Well, thank you, Hulda. That is the most Iceland name I've ever seen. Miss Sarcasm sends $10, goes to just contact you about writing your stories before or after Sandpaper Films interviewed her multiple times. How long did it take to tell you that she was interviewed? I have no idea, and I'm not sure what you're getting at, and I have no interest in any sort of like Jess Machado pylon. I'm not here for that. It pains me to say the things that I said earlier. I never wanted this to come out. I feel like I was kind of forced. Did Messi really score his third goal? Does Messi really have a fucking hat trick? Are you kidding me? Oh, legend. Jesus Christ. Messi. Good for him. God damn. All right. My son's going to be so excited. He loves Messi. He just won't stop talking about Messi. And now he's Googling him, researching him, loving him. Dad, who do you think's the greatest player ever? Pele or Messi? Who do you think's better, Ronaldo or Messi? I'm like, probably Messi. I'm not an expert on any of this shit. You asked me LeBron or Michael. That's not even a question. Michael, obviously, but yeah, I mean, he's the GOAT, right? Messi's the GOAT at this point. All right. But I'll tell you who's really good too. Pulisic. I mean, dude, he's good. The USA is fucking good. I don't give a shit. I'm excited to see them, beat the Socceroos on Juneteenth. It's going to be great. Beat them Aussies. It's going to be awesome. All right, next. Yeah, Portugal's playing tomorrow. They're supposed to be good. It's going to be good. I love soccer. Love it. All right, next. Denise sends $10, goes, I'm so proud to follow you, the Glare and Baker. You're all stand-up men. Thank you for hugging it out earlier. And say hi to my boyfriend, Levi, free the turtle. Yes, thank you. I stand with Melanie, sends $10, goes, I watched Common Sense Investigators stream going over how to review your past streams for intent. Her stopping the playbacks of your streams to document examples of things that you said that day could be used by the antis as intent seems counterintuitive Won't her stream just be more? I didn't see it. I'll check it out. But you know, the antis are already what the antis have seen everything. Trust me. We're looking for to show what my we're trying to prove my intent too. But that my intent was not to intimidate witnesses because it wasn't. And we can prove this. We can actually prove that my intent was never to intimidate witnesses by using my own words at the time. My own words before I was charged, right? Because the things that I'm saying, like what better to prove what your intent was besides your own words that were video recorded before you were charged? If things I said after I was charged, I would agree. That's no bueno because you've already been charged at that point. So you'll say anything, right? To make you look innocent. But the things you said before you got charged, when you didn't know that you were going to be charged, that's different. That adds more legitimacy. So thank you. Amy sends $50, goes, that was secondhand cringe watching Will needing to get his blank stroke publicly while being a bitch baby and not willing to even read texts, but willing to complain. And he wants to cause a scene publicly. If Jessica refuses to have you on tomorrow, shame on her as well. She claims the journalism doesn't pay and why that may have been true last year. That's 100% untrue this year. She has a huge following that supports her generously and loves her journalism. Yeah, I love her journalism and wants nothing more than to hear her do journalism like only she can. It's a cop-out at this point to claim journalism doesn't pay, so we have to listen to drama to this extent. It's felt like she isn't that interested in Karen Reed or even you lately. There's plenty. Yeah, okay, I get it. So thank you for the $50, Amy. I appreciate that. You're entitled to your opinions. But I feel being willed, like what you saw last night was how people should handle their differences. Like he was pissed. If I had called him before the show Sunday and just given him a heads up, I'm about to say this tonight, I'm not talking about you. That would have prevented a lot of this from happening, wouldn't it? So I probably should have done that. So thank you. I can only focus on what I can do differently, not others. Nicole sends $10, goes, hey, Daddy, I love Jess's courtroom reporting. And I started following her because I felt she was very talented. No one tells a story like her. I continued to follow her despite having different political views, but the streams lately were very disappointing because of the drama. I hope she doesn't take it personally. We all want her to succeed. Exactly. But she will take this personally, though, especially after listening to her traumas. I just wish she would be receptive to constructive criticism. Amen. Anyway, good luck. Bless you both. And again, it's professional advice. Like it's going to take you a long way. Be able to take constructive criticism. You can get better. She can get better. You can't be sensitive about it. Like if you see the baker saying in a text message that I don't like her show, too much drama. Okay. Well, that's his opinion. You can't let that get to you. You can't let that be like, well, he's a bad person. He's my enemy now, Like, is what it is. It just comes with the territory. Susan sends $5, goes, both Will and Jess did streams on Sunday before your show saying they wouldn't talk about Baker again after Sunday. Will was the first person. Oh, Jesus Christ. Will was the first person to talk about it again at 6 a.m. stream on Monday. Not Jess. Sorry, but you got this one wrong. It's not Jess who can't stop. Okay. Again, and why do you think I said what I said? That I just wanted everyone to stop. Oh, this person talked first and this person can everybody cut the shit? That was my take on it. Yeah, they both have a right to say that. They both have a right to do this. I just thought it was unproductive. And again, my animosity came from watching, from my own personal stress of my charges and the fact that they both have big platforms. And I would love it if they could really dig into my charges. And Will has done that before, to his credit, and he's resharing those streams. So thank you for that one, Susan. Next. Holy shit. Jen sends $10, goes, Turtleboy, Recording Gate was the catalyst for some issues in the community, but it didn't create personalities. People show and should own their true colors. Your humility and willingness to admit that you're wrong makes every cunt you say worth it. Bring on hours of cunts. Let's get ready for trial. Yeah, it's like, I mean, fuck everybody who says I don't say sorry, that I'm a narcissist, that I never admit when I'm wrong. It's like, yeah, okay, I do. So, I mean, go fuck yourself. I don't know what else to tell you. Next, Juju sends $50, goes, you are in my thoughts and prayers, chin up. Thank you so much, Juju. News Now, 𝗲𝗄𝗄𝗃 sends $5, goes, Turtleboy was right. The U.S. sucks at soccer. Greetings from Germany. Oh, sorry, we can't beat 𝗬𝗃𝗃. We're all really fucking impressed by that one. Oh, yeah. Isn't that where Amy Bradley's kidnapped to? 𝗬𝗃𝗃? Yeah, congratulations. You beat them. Awesome job. Diana sends $5, goes, hi, 𝗕𝗏𝗏, making my parents watch your presentation tonight. Oh, sorry, Dad. And my dad noticed that Colin's name isn't centered on the messages with Allie McCabe, which might prove they are messed with somehow. Anyways, can you say hi to Julie and Chad for the first live show? Thanks, Turtleboy. Love you. What's up, Julie and Chad? Welcome to my YouTube presentation, and pardon my potty mouth. But yeah, again, my beef with that should be a Celebrate download. Other than that, I have no interest in it. All right, next. Hi, Lexi sends $5, goes, when you did a test on the date shown on the iMessages, did you look at it immediately after, or did you go back a few days later to check if the date changed appeared? No, I went back. I went back on a lot of messages. And if I see any messages at, let me see one here. Yeah. Like I see yesterday at 12:16 a.m. Like I was messaging someone. I messaged them at 6:14 p.m. And then the next message was at 12:16 a.m. And it says the date does change on that. So I'm not sure the rhyme or reason for some of this shit. I don't know. I'm going to go back and analyze that some more. But I just remember doing a test on that one time, and it doesn't automatically change the date. I don't know. All right, next. Trish Barber sends $10, goes, 1000% from day one, without knowing anything about Brian Higgins. I knew it was Colin the punk aggressor. No one believed me. And I also, well, I believed it. And I believe Chris or Brian A is in the front seat of the Jeep in the parking lot. I edited the photos. It's a dude in the front seat. Okay. We'll see. Thanks, Trish. Next. At 4Dread sends $10, goes, what is your thoughts on the Faraday bag? I think Higgy might have had one or access to one. We've talked about this before. Anything's a possibility. Herder of Cats sends $10, goes, Colin didn't leave until after John was on the lawn. Chris drove Colin's Ford Edge to 34 Fairview. And that's the Edge Lucky saw at the flagpole. Allie's fake alibi was needed to make it appear Colin was gone before John got there. Yeah, that it would make a lot of sense if Colin just never left. Wouldn't it? The more you think about it, it would make a lot of sense if Colin just never left. What's up with the call to Aaron Beatty at 12:33? Why did he randomly call her? You ever explain that one? What do you want from her? Don't worry. He'll figure that out. He'll call up with the lie for that. Anon sends $50, goes, we may never know. This is a centograph. Can't read the whole thing. We may never know exactly the hams took John's life or what happened that night, and they may stay free from prosecution. But while so many speak about justice for John, I hope they also remember this. John's death will not be in vain. His name will forever be known for the case that exposed corruption, challenged a broken system, and brought accountability to those who abused their positions of trust. Because of what was uncovered, scumbags like Proctor were removed from roles where they had power to harm others. That matters. John's legacy is bigger than the tragedy of his death. Okay, thank you very much. It goes on and on and on. Thank you for the $50, Anon. I appreciate it. And yes, he will never be forgotten. Rosaline sends $10, goes, Dr. Turtleboy, happy Turtle Truth Tuesday. I have a thing for alliteration. Thank you for speaking the truth, especially with great cost and personal freedom on the line. We always got you. Thank you, dear. Joe C sends $10, goes, hey, Turtle, it blows my mind that people like you have the right for free speech in this way. We'll be rooting hard for you and donating when I can for your upcoming trial. Next time you're in Rentham, I'll try and buy you a beer. Well, I love going to the Gavel in Rentham. It's one of my favorite spots. Where did we go yesterday? Oh, I went to this place, and unfortunately, I've been hanging out in North Attleboro recently, and I got to be careful because Krusty's around there. But I went to this place, the Mad Moose, last night. It was fucking cool. Good food there. Awesome. Love it. Good times. And the Town Tavern's another place I go to North Attleboro. So, but again, every time I'm in North Attleboro, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to run that Krusty. That would suck. But I'm just in the area a lot now. So, is what it is. All right. Let me see if we have any cash apps here. How's the crowd looking tonight? Don't forget to smash. We got a good crowd tonight. 7,200 mofos. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. How many subscribers we got now? We're up to 164,154. So we've lost like 20 today. So come on. We got 7,200 people watching. We probably lost some bunnies there. So go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Do it. Do it. All right. Carly sends $15, goes, it's free Turtleboy until the charges are gone. Yes, it is. Thank you. Linda sends 25, goes, people need to stay focused. $ free TB 815 ride. Yes, Linda. Remember, August 15th, the ride in Marlboro. I'm going to post about that more, right? The motorcycle ride and also the golf tournament, August 3rd. Both are coming up. So let's fucking go. Let's go. Ralph sends 25, goes, Colin was in the house. Yes, he was, Ralph. Jennifer sends $5, goes, thank you for fighting for Officer John O'Keefe. My pleasure. Carly sends $10, goes, accountability, daddy. You're damn right, baby. Danica sends $15, goes, thanks for calling out injustice. Go Portugal. Oh, I bet you guys are going to love that. All the Portuguese are going to love that tomorrow. Let's see. Rebecca sends $5, goes, Aidan, please watch the video Common Sense did yesterday. Okay, thanks. Investigations. Marianne sends $10, goes, Janelle 1012, we ain't got no quit. No, we don't. Okay. And people are apparently starting a billboard fundraiser for me. We should discuss that. I'm not sure if that's the best use of funding. Yes, I'm going to read the memberships a little. I read a bunch earlier. I will read more later. Okay, but I want to read. We need to go over. We haven't read this yet, but Melanie's done some of these. The updated filing against me in the lawsuit. Okay. So the original complaint was 50 pages. This new one is 58 pages. All right. So let me get to, actually, I'm going to find. And we are going to have a motion, by the way, coming this week, a very, very juicy motion that you're going to want to read. I'm not going to say anything about it or what it's about without Mark Bettero's consent, because I have a big mouth and sometimes I forget that I'm not supposed to say everything out loud. But there will be, I'm pretty confident I can say that there's going to be a really good motion coming out this week that you're going to want to read. And that's going to be good. Okay. So 8 more pages of bullshit. Exactly. Okay. Oh, actually, I was looking for, because I have a copy of like where the difference between the amended complaint and the old complaint. Hold on. Do I have it? I had a copy of it. One with like the differences. Between the two. Oh, here it is. Okay, cool. I got it. Here we go. Okay. Oh, that's not it. Hold on. Hold on. I got this. I got this. Open with Google Docs. Edit latest. No, that's not in red. It's no share. Download PDF doc. Where'd it go? There we go. Download PDF. There it is. Okay, got it now. All right, I got it. This should be it, I believe. Why is it not in red? It's supposed to show the differences. All right, I'll just look at mine. All right, anyway, back to this. All right. This is the civil case, not the criminal. So, where'd my email go? All right, let me see the differences in the complaints. Starting with page, because this is all I want to go. Okay, page 25, or paragraph 25. All right, so this is a new one. Pursuant to this scheme, Kearney agreed to and did publicize and widely disseminate Reed's false claims about the plaintiffs and others in an effort to destroy the reputations of these individuals so that Reed could evade responsibility for causing the death of O'Keefe. That was included in the first, that sentence was included in the first complaint, but the second part here is added. And that's obviously bullshit. We all know that's bullshit. This idea, the fact that they can just say that she caused the death of John O'Keefe is just fantasy land. Like, good luck proving that. So it says here, and I thought, I didn't realize what clowns these guys were until I watched Brother Counsel's stream, which you should all watch, about the email exchange between 𝗃𝗄𝗄 and Rosenberg. And just the way Rosenberg talks to him is fucking hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. Rosenberg is one of Karen Reed's attorneys. All right. So this is the part they add here. Kearney acted on behalf of Reed in publishing defamatory statements about the plaintiffs to assist Reed in her trial by harassing the witnesses, harming their reputations, and tainting the jury pool with false claims, and intimidating them not to testify or change their testimony. To be clear, not even the government in my criminal case is saying that I ever told people not to testify. That is just complete fantasy land. It's completely made up. Just making shit up. Kearney has repeatedly acknowledged that his work was done on behalf of Reed, including crudely stating in May of 2026, Reed couldn't have done shit without me. There's no footnote there, is there? She couldn't have done shit without me. So that is a new thing that I said. Do they have footnotes for this? Where's the video for this? There's no video link for this? I don't see nothing. I see the Andrea Burkhart stream linked at the bottom. Wow. Unbelievable. So back to this. So paragraph 26 is all new as well. So what does this mean? Reed couldn't have done shit without me. What did I said? Yeah. Like there would have been no crowds outside without me. There would not have been $1.1 million raised. That's not a new thing I'm saying, bro. It was actually a cause of division and contention within the movement when I said those things. So even you guys, like, who cares? What does that have to do with anything? This is a new paragraph. In addition, Kearney entered into this scheme with the intent and expectation that his publication of Reed's defamatory statements and his own defamatory, outrageous conduct in harassing and intimidating the witnesses, including the plaintiffs, would bring him notoriety, expand his audience, and increase his personal fortune. That is, from the outset, Kearney sought to monetize his defamation and willingly defamed, harassed, and tormented to the plaintiffs for that purpose. First of all, I had no idea when I wrote this story that I was going to make money on it. Okay? I had no idea that I was going to make a shit ton of fucking money on this. I also had no idea that I was going to have to pay all these fucking legal bills. What's the point of making all this money if you just piss it away on lawyers? Like, this has come at great personal cost. They act like I'm just rolling in money over here. This whole thing has come at great personal cost to me. Luckily, I have an army of people behind me that are there to support me financially and like mentally. So yeah, I went to jail. I don't know if you know that. I went to jail for 60 goddamn days, 60 days. And I was arrested. I was indicted, all this shit. I've been on bail the whole time. I can't go out to fucking see if McCarthy's anymore because there's stay away orders. I couldn't go to the Canton town meeting because McAlberts were going to be there. Like it's severely impacted me in a negative way. So this idea that I'm just sitting here enjoying the fucking good life off of this is just insane. Yes, I have made money doing this. Good fucking thing, because how else would I afford to pay all my bills? So yeah, that's just crazy to me. And none of these things are defamatory anyway. And whatever. Anyway, what's the next new paragraph they added? Next new paragraph they added is paragraph 29 is new. Let's see that one. All right. Reed directly and through her counsel provided other selective and distortive information to Kearney that she purportedly obtained from federal law enforcement authorities. So she directly and through her counsel provided other selective and what distorted information to Kearney what did they tell me? They told me that there was a federal investigation going on, which there was. They told me that there was a grand jury, which there was. They told me that, and honestly, I didn't get it all from her. I got a lot of this information from sources at Moakley who told me that Jen McCabe was down there. I had a lot of sources. So what are you talking about? Like, what is she's allowed to tell me about this shit. Reed and her counsel knew that this information was not public. And what's wrong with sharing information with a reporter? If they find out information, they are allowed to tell me about it. Neither Reed nor her counsel were authorized to share such information with Kearney. It's not against the law for them to share information with me. Reed and her counsel laundered this laundered information. What a word choice. Through Kearney so that he would publish it in furtherance of their defamation of the plaintiffs. Oh no, not information. We hate that. Okay. Next new paragraph is paragraph 30. Indeed, Reed and her counsel would thereafter proffer Kearney's reporting with respect to the federal investigation in open court in an attempt to convey their statements to the court regarding the federal investigation were independently corroborated. This is commonly known as circular reporting, a practice in which information is laundered or disseminated to the media and later cited as an independent source despite originating from the same underlying source. So they're saying that Karen Reed's team told me about the federal investigation. I published that, and then they cited my reporting in court. And to that I say, so what? So what? What the imaginary crimes that these people come up with? You're not allowed to find creative ways to get information out there to the public? Isn't that something the public would find of interest? That because it doesn't happen very often, that the federal government has taken an interest in this story and to the point where they're investigating it? Why is information a bad thing now? It's just madness that they're actually taking this position. Next paragraph that's new. The next new one is, let's see. All right, footnote on under 37. Footnote number, looks like 8. Ironically, that one. Okay, this is a new footnote right here. So footnote 8 is part of this one. In reality, this blog post by Kearney, like numerous other defamatory statements he made, was funneled by Reed to her accomplice Kearney with knowledge that he would publish it on her behalf. Okay. So let's see here. Ironically, though, this is a new footnote. The April 18th, 2023 post was not actually Kearney's first blog concerning investigations in the prosecution of Reed. Just week after O'Keefe's death in February of 2022, after the DA's office publicly identified the key evidence, including providing details about O'Keefe's injuries, Kearney declared during his show, no doubt she killed him because the taillight was out. Turtleboy Live, episode 454, Don't Hate Your Kids. Bro, I can't believe they put this in there. Wait, how do I click on this? I'm on Adobe Acrobat right now. I'll just go to it. Again, we've been over this. I guess I don't have to share this one but I will. I mean, okay, I'm just going to go to it. I did a whole episode on this, and I can't believe they're actually. You see, Heather McDonald faint on stage while making jokes. I guess he was supposed to come home. I don't know if she was going back to pick week or last 2 weekends ago. Was killed. Outside officer that was hit. Vale, God bless you. Like the dad's fighting cancer right now. It is, but you know what? At least he's fighting. You know, God bless you. He'll be in my God bless you. God bless you. All right. Anybody else have any? What are their thoughts with the Boston police officer that was hit by his girl? Okay, so that I was going to blog about that last week, so that's a great question. John O'Keefe
last week or last 2 weekends ago was killed outside during a snowstorm. During that snowstorm we had, they found him in I think right outside the front lawn of their friend's house in Canton. So they went out, him and his girlfriend named Karen Reed. She's like this, she probably wears a pantsuit. She looks like she's educated and has a good job. And
got that right, Turtleboy.
She's now charged with manslaughter because they went out that night and they went to some bar and they were seen drunk. And then she dropped him off at this house in Canton at a friend's house, and she went, I assume, back to his house.
Yeah,
because I think he lived in Canton.
Yep.
And she lived in like Mansfield.
Yes,
which I don't think is that close to Canton.
No, it's not.
No, the plan, I guess, he was supposed to come home. I don't know if she was going back to pick him up or what, but she drops him off, and then she does a 3-point turn and drives away.
That's a lie.
And he's later found on the freaking like at 4 o'clock in the morning. She's trying to text him, call.
So that shows one lie that I was fed by the media about a 3-point turn. So I'm
he's not answering, and she's worried, and so she has the couple friends drive her to the house. Goes to the house, and then on the way she's like, "Oh my God, did I hit him? Did I hit him?" Because she noticed that her back taillight was broken.
I thought it was friends, and she noticed her back taillight's broken. She's like, "Did I hit him?"
And so she's like, "Did I hit him? Oh my God!" And then she gets there and she sees his body like buried under snow. Like she knew where he was. The other people couldn't see him. She knew exactly where he was, which was suspicious, I guess. And so she,
according to
because of that information, she's arrested for manslaughter. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you.
Be honest.
I don't know. Like I don't. The reason I didn't write about that story is because I didn't have a strong take on it. Like I don't. Did you happen to follow that story, Deb, in the news?
Yeah, I was watching it too. I was kind of confused, but she might have been like drunk or something.
It's funny. I was watching Melanie play this, and she's like, "Is that @𝗵𝗵𝗃? Like, no, this is 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗃. 𝗵𝗵𝗃 used to be my I don't know what 𝗵𝗵𝗃 did exactly. She was like behind the scenes. She would pull up. She would share shit. She like I always had the videos ready to go. She'd always have shit ready to go, and she spoke what she was spoken to. She wasn't like a co-host. But whenever I needed someone to bounce shit off of, she was good. I watched this. I'm like, it just flowed with her. It flowed with her.
I don't know.
She was definitely drunk.
Like I just really, she might have blacked out or something.
Which leads me to believe that, which leads me to ask,
like, it might have been an accident. Like I don't know.
Why, it definitely. Oh, I have no doubt it was. I don't know, no doubt, but like
no doubt.
I don't know what the motive was because people were saying that they were not fighting. They did not appear to be fighting, which would be an indicator that this was premeditated. She was angry, whatever. But if she was that drunk, then why was she the driver? He's a cop. Like why would a cop get in the car with somebody that was that? Well, I mean, how drunk was he then? Right?
Good question.
Like, how drunk?
If she was the better person,
yeah, like no doubt.
You're onto it.
She killed him. Because obviously the taillight was out. But who the fuck intentionally kills someone by backing into them?
So I'm like, that's the part. No doubt she killed him. Yeah, it's like I cannot believe they actually. This shows how desperate they are. That they actually put this in there. I didn't think they'd be dumb enough to put this in their filing, but they are, right? They actually put this in the filing. A February 2022 broadcast in which I admittedly know nothing about this. And I'm like, I'm blindly believing the narrative that's put out there. And even then I'm like, yeah, but I still don't really, I'm still a little confused. It's still not making sense. They actually put this in there thinking this would help. This is how bad their lawsuit is.
Never heard of that before, ever. That's what leads me to believe. And I think it's quite possible in that state that you could back into someone without that, if them knowing, but you'd have to be drunk. I think you'd have to be drunk, and I just, I don't.
And like, I already spent a whole episode debunking this. They didn't put that one in the filing. They did not. I don't think they put that in the filing. It goes, he also noted that Reed was drunk. That's not in dispute. She was convicted of DUI. Kearney's only question was whether she hit him by accident or intentionally. Upon joining Reed's defamation scheme, however, he has blindly followed Reed and recklessly disregarded voluminous evidence that he previously admitted points to her culpability, including her broken taillight. Yeah, that's before I knew that there was no taillight there at 7 a.m., dumbass. That's before I knew that Jennifer McCabe Googled how long to die in cold at 2:27 a.m. That's before I knew that Michael Proctor lied about what time he towed the car there. That's before I knew about Michael Proctor's connection to the Albert family. Their close familial connection that they had. I did not know about that at the time. There was a lot I didn't know about. I didn't know about Brian Higgins. The fact that he was trying to bang Kearney. I didn't know any of that. And by the way, someone else sent me a clip today. I think it was episode 577, where like somebody messaged super chats me and it's like, hey, just so you know, Higgins was trying to bang Karen Reed. And I'm like, that's bullshit. Like, I go off on the guy. It's so funny. It's so funny. And she never fucking stepped in and was like, bro, I gotta let you know about this. That's my one beef with her. She should have told me about that. But anyway, it doesn't affect anything because John wasn't hit by a car. Anyway, so they're pretty desperate if this is the kind of shit that they're using in their filings. Like, and that clip there shows that my belief was influenced by the fact that the news reported that there was Ring camera video of it happening. So there's that as well. All right, what else did they add to this? All right. Paragraph 55 is new. Let's see paragraph 55. All right. On May 7th, 2023, Kearney, who had already repeatedly defamed and harassed the plaintiffs, acknowledged the incoherence of Reed's twin narratives that O'Keefe was purportedly killed shortly after entering the house and that a Google search was performed at 2:27 a.m., suggesting he was still alive. He noted the Google search allegation made no sense if Reed's theory was that Officer O'Keefe was already dead. Instead, Kearney called it a frame job and told Reed's intermediary, quote, I hope Reed realizes the Google search completely invalidates the defense, and it's starting to make me worry about what I've now tied myself to. Kearney failed to conduct any diligent inquiry and abandoned fundamental journalistic standards, disregarded the obvious flaws and inconsistencies in Reed's theory, and continued to act at Reed's direction in disseminating these allegations to the public. Okay. So let me explain this to you because I've explained this one again and I'll repeat this. And I wrote this one down so I have it all easy to explain here. Okay. And I wrote this in Canton Cover Up 549. I fully explain this and I show because they have out of context screenshots of messages between me and Natalie. And I do say that on May 7th. But here's the backstory. In the April 12th, 2023 court filing that really got this, that's where I heard about this from, not from Kara Reed, but from the court filing. There was no mention of the plow driver, 𝗫𝗏𝗏, who told Kara Reed's private investigator that on February 15th, 2022, that he didn't see a body when he drove by 34 Fairview Road at 2:30 a.m. I wrongly believed that John had died from hypothermia, which Dr. 𝗫𝗏𝗧𝗏 later testified was not true. So these are the things that I initially thought. John died from hypothermia, and I didn't realize that 𝗫𝗏𝗏𝗀 drove by and that there was no body on the lawn. I didn't realize that. And he said that there would be a body there if he had seen it. I didn't know that when I published part 1. I didn't know that until May 7th. So because I did not know this information, I was under the impression that John's body was placed on the front lawn shortly after Karen left at 12:30. So that's my mentality the whole time. John's been out there since 12:30. And I'm repeating this many, many times on my YouTube presentation. And then Karen Reed contacted me through Natalie and said, just to give you a heads up, you keep saying that his body was out there at 12:30. That's impossible. And I don't want to see you get discredited. There was no way his body was there at 12:30. And I go, what do you mean? And she said, we have an eyewitness. And I've published all the text messages. You guys can go back and look at them. She goes, we have an eyewitness who says there was no body there. And it's not in the filing right now. But we have a witness. And I go, who? And they go, she wouldn't tell me. She said, think about who would have driven by on a snowy night. And I'm like, Ken Berkowitz. No. Tom Beatty. I'm like, you see in my texts, I throw out names. And I'm just guessing all the wrong answers. And she's like, think about it, Aidan. Snow. Who would be on the snow? Who would be on the road when there's snow? And I'm like, Ken Berkowitz. You already guessed that one. No, okay. So I'm like, I'm just going down the wrong path. And I hated when Karen would do these guessing games with me. I was a real pet peeve. And I told Natalie this. I'm like, oh, you cunts are pissing me off. You know, like, I don't have time for these games. Just fucking tell me. You guys can trust me. Just fucking tell me. You could tell me. And so I thought the whole time that the body's put out there at 12:30. And then the 𝗫𝗄𝗃𝗵 does the Google search at 2:27, knowing that the body's out there. And so when Karen tells me in these messages through Natalie that no, there was no body there at 12:30, I'm like, what? What do you mean there's no body there at 12:30? I've been saying there's a body there for the last 3 weeks. How could there be no body there? What are you talking about? Then what she's Google searching the 2:27, how long to die in cold? Because his body's there, right? And I was just so set on 12:30, and she's not giving me an answer. We're playing these fucking guessing games. And finally, I'm like, that's when I get frustrated. I don't know if you guys know that. I have a short temper. And I had a short temper with her that day. And I go, and I get, you know, when I get a little hyperbolic, and I'm like, I hope she realizes the Google search completely invalidates the defense. And it's starting to make me worry about what I've tied myself to, because it wasn't clicking yet. If they read on the messages, they see later on in the messages that she's like, no, idiot. It still works if the body wasn't there, because they're researching how long it takes to die in cold, right? It works either way. If his body's there or his body's not there, it still makes sense that she would Google that 2:27. But me, I'm a very short-tempered Irishman who gets very frustrated. And when you have my texts, you're reading them in the context like this, and you don't understand. That's my way of being like, just fucking tell me. When I'm like, that's like me throwing a hissy fit. Karen Reed called it that, actually. She's like, you almost, like, in the, you know, the thing that happened that never happened. She says to me in there, she's like, and you fucking always get impatient with me, and you're so blah, 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 blah. And I was a pain in the ass sometimes, because I'm like, I don't have time for these fucking games and riddles and shit. Just fucking tell me, you know? So I know. So that's all. And, you know, I go, on May 7th, Karen informed me that John's body wasn't on the lawn until much later, past 4 a.m. She dropped hints about a plow driver, but didn't want to tell me about Loughran because it was not public information at the time. She urged me to think about who would have driven by in the snow that night. I became frustrated in our back and forth messages and told her I didn't understand, didn't appreciate the riddles. I wrongly said that 2:27 makes no sense if his body wasn't there at 2:27. I only said this because I didn't know Loughran went by at 2:30 and didn't see a body. Shortly after that, Karen gave me her phone number, and we spoke on the phone for the first time. She informed me about Loughran, but said this information was off the record and I could not report on it unless I corroborated it independently. I was satisfied with this and realized the 2:27 search still makes sense if his body wasn't out there yet, because the plan was to place his body out on the lawn later. Okay. This interaction, I mean, think about this. They claim that this shows that I disregarded flaws and abandoned fundamental journalistic whatever. Wrong. This interaction shows the opposite. They claim that it shows I failed to conduct journalistic inquiry, but actually shows that I didn't blindly believe anything Karen Reed told me. And I pushed back on her when I didn't see corroborating evidence in the court filings. I told her in text that it seemed like a frame job because I didn't understand at the time that John's body couldn't have been on the lawn at 2:27. And I applauded her to give me more information. I said that I was worried about what I've tied myself to because I'm impatient and demanded an explanation from Karen, which I got when we talked on the phone. It's just like, this is the best you guys have is out. This is how weak your case is. Their case is all built on lies. Like, give me a break. What else is new on this? So they added that. Let's see. They also added, hold on. Where'd it go? I had it here somewhere. I just had it up. No, that's not it. I had a copy of this showing the differences between the two. Oh, there it is. Okay, go. I got it. I got it again. All right. So we were on paragraph what now? 55. Paragraph 55, right? So the next one that's new is paragraph 57 is new. On May 27th, following a hearing in Norfolk Superior Court, Reed and her legal team appeared on the courthouse steps and spoke with members of the media. In that press conference, in response to a reporter asking who he thinks was involved in the death of O'Keefe, Jackson stated, there are people who were in the house that are involved. Brian Albert's involved. 𝗵𝗂𝗃𝗍's involved. The rest of the folks that were in the house, there's some level of involvement by every one of them, every single one of them. Okay, I guess they just forgot to put that in because that's been out. I thought they would just add stuff that I've said like in the last week, but I guess not. Hold on. Okay. All right, next. Anything else they added here? Let's see. Oh, paragraph 71 is new too. All right, 71 says, on September 14th, 2023, Kearney hosted a Turtleboy live show. Okay. In his show, he stated, I would recommend, if you don't feel comfortable, talk to Chris Albert about it. Talk to Chris Albert. All he has to do is come clean, get his son to admit what he did, and get his brother to admit what he did, and then this thing's over. There's no more kids' games interviewing you and going to goddamn pizza shop. It all fucking ends. So that is, let me see if I have that. I can't highlight shit for some reason. How can I? Whatever, I'll just search for it. Calling Norfolk Superior Court. I'll search that on YouTube. Let's watch that one. I don't know what this has to do with defamation.
Emergency impromptu live here. We're just going to call Norfolk Superior Courthouse. Give people a chance to stream in here.
Bro, nice fucking hair, dude. Nice haircut you got there, pal. You look real sharp.
I was just on 𝗺𝗵𝗃𝗺, or new 𝗺𝗵𝗃𝗺.
Oh,
Check
big
𝗺𝗵𝗃𝗺 was on the Grace Curley show. Talking about this.
Impressed.
Check out WRKO. They streamed it on their Facebook page. I believe it was, I don't know if it's WRKO's Facebook page or the Grace Curley
just
Facebook
get
page,
on with
𝗺𝗵𝗃𝗺
it.
Facebook
Just
page,
get
whatever
on
it was,
with it.
but
Let's go.
I was on there. Pretty good interview. I'm sure they'll have it up on podcast form later. But this is going to be a quick live. So look it. You may have seen some. I posted the pictures on Facebook. They have blockaded the front of the courthouse with these barriers, right? And their fences. So I'm like, at first I was like, are they going to really do this to us? But it looks like they're just blocking the street, blocking people from going on the street. But I want to figure out what the hell's going on here. So we're going to call them together right now and see what they have to say. Because, I document everything. So live the tape.
You're real impressed.
Thank you for calling the Norfolk Superior Court, located at 650 High Street,
You're like Trooper Paul.
602-026.
Nice
The
haircut.
business hours of this court are 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., Monday through Friday, except for legal holidays. By the pound sign.
And
Clerk's office.
yeah, hi, we're live to tape. I just had a question. I saw the pictures outside of the barriers outside the courthouse. I'm planning on holding a protest there tomorrow, and just want to make sure that we're okay to do that.
It just the barriers are up so that people don't go into the street.
Okay, so we can still stand on the sidewalk and on the courthouse steps. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye. All right, problem solved. We're good. Nobody has anything to worry about. People are all worried about that, so we're good. We cleared that up. It is, and that's it's accountability because we didn't do that. They might try pulling some 𝗪𝗍𝗃 stuff. Now, look at. I was told the last time, Carrie Roberts and them, I didn't see Carrie come in, her dumpy ass. They came up on the left.
I can't stop looking at my hair. Like, what did I do? I just shaved my head. I don't recall it's like, the hair looks a lot better. I got to be honest with you. The hair, and it's real, unlike BLT's hair. But anyway, so I talk about,
hand side. It is, and that's, you know, it's accountability, because if we didn't do that, they might try pulling some shiesty stuff. Now, look at, I was told the last time, Carrie Roberts and them, I didn't see Carrie come in, her dumpy ass. They came up on the left-hand side. There's like a wheelchair ramp, and they snuck in that way. So we need to have some people on there, reconnaissance. Again, we're not trying to bother, you know, trying to like harass you or anything, but we are going to vocalize what we think of them, because they're trash, and we're going to let them know that. And
we're not going to harass you. You're not going to harass them. Okay.
Supporting the lynching of an innocent woman, and we're not going to allow that. I'm also sick of hearing people whine about this football game post that I made. I made a post saying that, oh yeah, Canton High School is playing at Norwood High School in football today. So if you go there, wear your free Kearney shirt. What the hell's wrong with that post? What's wrong with wearing a free Kearney shirt? And they're like, oh, leave the kids alone, leave the kids alone. Nobody's bringing kids into it. I just want to go to a football match. You know who's not? You know who's bringing the kids into it? The Alberts are bringing the kids into it by continuing to go to these events. Like, look at, I don't want to hear a fucking word about, oh, they're hiding behind children. They're using children as shields. And if you fucking idiots keep saying, oh, what about the kids alone? Then you're fucking falling for it. Stop being a simple-minded fool. Stop it. You're being ridiculous. Okay?
Sorry.
This ends. I would recommend, if you don't feel uncomfortable, talk to Colin Albert about it. Talk to Colin Albert. All he has to do is come clean and get his son to admit what he did, and get his brother to admit what he did, and then this thing's over. Then there's no more going to kids' games and interviewing and going to your goddamn pizza shop. It all fucking ends. So I'm sick of this. You're playing right into their hands if you do this whole like, oh, we can't.
Wait a minute. Tell the truth? You can't say that, Turtleboy. Ghost of Turtleboy Past. That's not how, you're not allowed to tell people that. You can't tell people to tell the truth these days. That's witness intimidation when you do that. They love this clip. They love playing this clip where I'm like, yeah, if they literally the whole reason that we're out there protesting is because these people are lying. It's obvious that they're lying. So we're protesting that. And we're not just protesting them, we're protesting the government protecting them. That's what we're doing. We know they're lying, right? Because of course they're going to lie. They're in self-preservation mode. But like, it's the government allowing them to lie. That's the problem. That's why we're protesting at the courthouse. That's why we're protesting in the courthouse or outside the courthouse, right? So yeah, like if people start telling the truth about that night and everything that happened, then there's no reason for anyone to protest, is there? Then all the people stop looking at them weird. People stop like, you know, saying things to them in public. Like, that's my whole point, is that like their own behavior is the reason that people feel the need to suspect them and protest them. That's it. That's just common sense.
Leave kids out of it. We're not bringing kids into it. They're hiding behind children. They're hiding behind them. Okay. Like back there in World War II, the fucking Japanese would hide in goddamn caves with kids.
Really?
And you know what we did? Napalm the fuck out of it. Because sorry, like you don't get like, get out of my way. You stop hiding behind kids. It's not our fault. It's their fault. They're the ones that hide behind kids.
Little extreme.
And nobody is even fucking with kids here. We're there to just wear. What's wrong with free Kearney shirt?
Nothing.
What's wrong with free Kearney shirt? You don't think everyone in Norwood knows about free Kearney Reed?
Oh, yeah,
who she is? Who these scumbags are? I'm sick of them thinking that they can walk around in public like everything's normal and fine. It's not. An innocent woman is being lynched, and we're not standing for it. If you have a bigger problem with that, if you have a bigger problem with people going to a football game than you do with a state-sanctioned lynching and the murder of a Boston police officer, then your values are all fucked up, and I don't really care about your opinion.
Well,
so
fuck you.
That's that.
Yeah, well, you know, to each their own, Turtleboy, you know, to each their own. But either way, yeah, it's like they do hide behind kids. That's just a fact. Like the doxing and the seamen, they love hiding behind kids, these people. And be like, oh, you can't question me. There's kids around. You can't do that. Stop hiding behind fucking kids. Stop it. Like you're allowed to be skeptical of these people and question them. You're allowed to do that. Period.
You know, we'll see what happens. I'm not saying I'm going there tonight. I didn't say it up. I'm saying if other people in the area want to go, they're more than welcome to. Okay, it's a free country.
This is September 14th, 2023. Actually, remember this is the day before the hearing that took place at the September 15th court date. And I remember I got a hotel I got a hotel in Dedham at McMorgan's. That's my first trip to McMorgan's. And, you know, I met somebody for the first time. That was an interesting night. And so that's why I'm like, I'm not going to the fucking football game, but people have a right to. And I made a post saying, if you go, wear your fucking free Kearney Reed shirt, because you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to be like this. Everybody pay attention. That was my whole thing back then, was just trying to publicize this, trying to get people to pay attention to this, because I was the only one doing it. There was no Glare back then. There was no BLT. There was no Melanie Little. There was no, you got to understand this. I was the only one in the game back then. It was me and Plevin. That's it. It was just me and Plevin holding down the YouTube streets, and no one fucking else was covering this story. And so I was dying for someone to cover this shit, man. Dying. So, yeah.
Go to a goddamn football game if you want to. That's it. That's it. So, you know, Kearney Reed would like to be free too, but you can't. So the second Chris Albert does the right thing, this shit ends. It ends. Sick of these people hiding behind kids and shit like that. Enough. So I hope I see a lot of you there tomorrow. You heard the woman. We can protest all we freaking want, and we're going to, and we'll be there, and we're going to be loud. I'm going to be there at 7:30. I'll probably be there a little before that. The doors don't even open until 8:30, so they can't like sneak by us or anything like that. So 7:30, baby. Who's ready? Hopefully you guys are ready to come. We're ready to get justice for Kearney Reed, justice for John O'Keefe, and let these people know that we're watching them and we're coming for them, and we're never going to stop. You can tell us to stop, but we are never going to listen.
We're watching them and we're coming for them. Who are you talking about, Turtleboy? Sounds a little witness intimidating. Oh, wait, you're watching the government? You're watching the DA's office. You're watching the police. You're coming for the police. You're holding them accountable. Oh, yeah. You can't say those things. You're not allowed to hold the police accountable, because that's witness intimidation now when you say that, don't you know? Because apparently Chris Albert thinks the world revolves around him and that every comment is about him. It's not. It's not.
To you, because you're not in charge. I'm the daddy now. You don't get to tell us what to do. We tell you what to do.
Easy, pal.
And we'll see you tomorrow morning.
Easy,
Peace.
pal. Yeah, we're all really impressed. You must have a really big one there, pal. Okay. Anyway, so it's like that. First of all, that would make more sense if they used that clip in the witness intimidation case. What does that have to do with deformation? I don't even talk about it there. I don't even talk about them like I never once say that they killed John O'Keefe, which I believe they did. And that I don't say that. I did. That's just a whole bunch of like me urging people to go to the fucking courthouse and shit. It's just crazy. Anyway, back to this. We're almost done. Anything else added here? Let's see. Any other parts? So that I don't know what the purpose of adding that was. But they also added paragraph 91. Let's see. During her first criminal trial, Reed had this is all new. Reed had documentary filmmaker Terry Dawn Muir record her preparation for trial, including interviews with Reed, her attorneys, her family, recordings of conversations between herself. During these interviews, Reed personally and her counsel on her behalf defamed the plaintiffs. So we've seen this before, but there's some interesting new stuff that came out. On April 12th, Jackson verified to Muir and her production assistants the statements Reed gave to police when she was arrested in June of 2022 that Colin Albert beat up John. My taillight was cracked when John was pulverized. That is a lie. That is not what it says. The audio shows that comes on the state police body cam. It doesn't show. The quote was not, my taillight was cracked when John was pulverized. They said, she says, my taillight was cracked and John's head was pulverized. And when are different words. What if you say when, it suggests that the crack on the taillight comes from John's head being smashed. Again, I have the whole, actually, I'm going to be right back. I got to take a leak and I'm not going to be able to think. Smash that subscribe button. Don't go anywhere. Hold on. And watch a video or something. We got it. We're going to watch a little video here. Here, let's watch Grant.
Aidan Kearney, after a Bench trial, you have been found not guilty as to one charge of violate abuse prevention order. Such charge will automatically be sealed by the Office of Commissioner of Probation and the clerk's office, unless you notify both offices in writing within 10 days that you do not want the charge sealed, using the request not to seal court record. The request not to seal form must be sent to the Office of the Commissioner by mail or email to the addresses provided on the form. If you want copies of any documents associated with these charges, you must request them immediately before the charges are sealed. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise.
Oh, goodness.
Court says in the day.
Wow. That is not what I saw coming. I thought the argument was made. I thought it was clear he violated the order. I thought it was clear he stayed around. Oh, goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Goodness, an unexpected not guilty verdict after an extended 2-day trial for Aidan Turtleboy Kearney. Very surprising. I think a lot of people heard that evidence there, ladies and gentlemen. I think a lot of people really focused in on the evidence. And I think a lot of people were utterly baffled how Aidan Kearney remained in the area and yet somehow did not receive a guilty verdict on the judge trial. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, a very well-presented case by Special Prosecutor Robert Cosgrove. A very interesting verdict. I don't think anyone saw that coming. Not at all, especially in light of the present.
All right, we're back. All right. So, we're almost done here. So now I can't think when I take a leak. I'm not gonna lie. So I want to find this video. Hold on. Of Lally. Hold on. Lally lying about something. What's this? I heard this. Because they just fucking blatantly lie about this. Just watch this. I can't make this bigger, huh?
Of it, she says something to the effect of, are you in on the joke? And then makes some sort of reference to having witnessed Brian Albert and Colin Albert essentially smash John O'Keefe's head into the taillight.
That's a complete lie. That's a complete lie. He said, did you hear that? Did you guys catch that?
Nice shirt.
The actual video.
Nice shirt, Turtleboy. Nice shirt you got on there, pal. That's a complete lie.
He was beaten up by Brian and Colin Albert.
You're aware he was beaten up by Brian and Colin Albert.
We're all in on the same joke, right?
I mean, we're all in on the same joke, right? Like, you guys just fucking with me, right? That's what that means. Like, look at his face. Look at the autopsy photos. I didn't do that, right? You know that he was beaten up by Brian and Colin Albert, right? You know that. Like, you guys are just messing with me. There's a candy camera here somewhere, right?
My taillight was cracked and John was pulverized.
Okay,
my taillight was cracked and John was pulverized. All they do is lie. All they do is lie. Listen to that.
But the sum and substance of it is she says something to the effect.
And John's. So Lally lied in open court about what was on that. He claims that he claimed the same thing that 𝗃𝗄𝗏 is claiming in here. That Karen Reed said in that body cam video that Brian Albert and Colin Albert smashed John's head into a taillight. That the taillight was broken when John's head hit it. When John's head was pulverized. Not and John. So the taillights, she's like, yeah, the taillight's cracked and John's head is pulverized. Make that make sense. How does that fucking make sense? Yeah. Anyway, so I mean, they really put that in there. On or about April 30th, Reed gave a series of personal interviews to Miss Muir in connection with the documentary that she was filming. During that interview, Reed falsely stated Jen McCabe got herself into a bad mess that night and she helped clean it up. So none of this was aired. I don't think Jen laid a finger on John, but Jen knew John was dying and she helped expedite it. So she's a first-degree murderer and she knows it. But it was probably accidental when he became severely injured and they just finished him off. Oh, wait, I didn't share that. I just realized I wasn't sharing that. Look at that. So she's a first-degree murderer and she knows it. That was never aired. How wild is that? How wild is that, guys? Like, because that is 1,000% true. I mean, that's like, if she Googled that at 227, how is that not murder? You're literally plotting to put somebody outside in the cold. How is that not? It says it right fucking there, 227 and 40. I've never heard of a Google search not happening ever, because it's fucking bullshit that it didn't happen. Bullshit. During that same interview, Reed falsely stated, referring to the plaintiffs, they're being federally investigated and they know it. They know they killed John. How is it false that they're being federally investigated and they know it? They know they killed John. Yeah. Okay. During the same, like, yeah, this has always been her assertion that it's also her fucking defense. During that same interview, she was asked what she thought of Kearney's tactics that have resulted in criminal charges against him for witness intimidation. She kind of threw me under the bus with this one. Reed responded, but no hard feelings, in part by referring to the plaintiffs and falsely stating, it is impossible for me to have any sympathy for any of these witnesses. They're murderers and they know it. They did not include that part in. She goes, that was the one where she goes, when they ask about the harassment of witnesses, she goes, is it harassment? Definitionally, I guess. It's like, no, Karen, it's not definite. Actually, according to Judge O'Malley, the Webster's dictionary definition, but not under the legal definition. And you got to apply the law. So actually, it's not harassment because it doesn't contain true threats, so it's not really harassment. But she goes, is it definitionally? Yes. She goes, but it's impossible for me to have any sympathy. But they didn't air the part that said they're murderers. So that's interesting that they really chose not to air some of the spiciest stuff because they're probably worried about getting sued. Or else they're covering for the McAlberts or because, Karen got in a fight with this woman or had a falling out with Terry, as, Karen does sometimes. But, I get it. She's under a lot of stress and Terry's a bitch. And Terry was basically felt like betrayed by Karen because they didn't acquit her. She was like, I thought you told me this was going to be an acquittal. Bitch, they can't guarantee anything. What you talking about? And that was the cause of the falling out between them because she had invested all this money into getting this documentary done and all this time and that out of her own pocket and was like, well, I had to fucking sell this. So what the hell? On June 15th, Reed gave a recorded statement to Muir and her team that Brian Higgins, Brian Albert, and Colin Albert had a motive to kill O'Keefe, but she was not sure of the circumstances in which they did kill him. She said, what I think may have happened, keyword think, may have happened. If the Higgins motive is the motive for what happened to John, or if it's combined Higgins and Colin Albert, who I think is the biggest hothead of the whole group, I think Higgins could have shared with Brian Albert what happened between Higgins and me. And Brian Albert used that as another reason not to like John O'Keefe. So Brian Albert has his friend Brian Higgins and his beloved nephew Colin Albert coming to him saying, John O'Keefe is a pain in my ass. There's enough motive to go around. I know that Brian Albert did not care for John on his own. I know that Colin Albert had issues that I witnessed with John. So it could have been as simple as everyone was drunk and John got mouthy with Colin. So, you know, caught an uppercut and just escalated from there. This is what she thinks happened. This is her theory. All she knows, all we know for sure is she didn't hit him with the car and he went inside the house. So something happened to him in there. And that's her theory. We're all entitled to our theories. Aren't we? On June 22nd, Reed stated in an interview with Muir, I know Brian Higgins had a role in helping kill him. Yeah, because that's what Steve Scanlon told them. Help him get in the snow and help frame me. But I don't think Higgins necessarily would have wanted to really hurt John. I think Brian Albert and Colin Albert would have enjoyed roughing him up. See? This is her, again, she's entitled to that opinion. I disagree. I think this is her way of coping. I think Karen, if she blames Brian Higgins for this, she's going to blame herself because she was flirting with Brian Higgins and she was leading him on. And she does not want to come to terms with the fact that she dropped John off at a house with a man inside who would do this to her, and that had she never flirted with Brian Higgins, he would never have done this. She doesn't want to accept that. Doesn't mean she killed him or that she's responsible for killing him. But I think mentally it's easier for her to accept that Brian and Colin Albert played a more of a bigger role than Higgins. That's it. So I get it. I get why she would say that, you know. Further during the interview, she asked Reed, you make such strong statements about, I think Colin Albert killed him. I don't know how without getting sued, because I don't even know if we're gonna. I hope we're going to be able to use some of that because it's public record what you said. Reed responded, if Colin can prove that I'm lying and this is defamatory, he can sue me. Exactly. So that's really interesting. I can't believe they put that in there. If Colin can prove that I'm lying, then he can sue me. So go ahead. Prove that she's lying. Prove it. Prove that everything she said is untrue. You do it. You're the one suing. You're the one claiming that these are false statements, so prove it. How are you proving that? 99 is the last new one. Reed also made false statements about Jennifer McCabe, Colin Albert, Brian Albert, and Brian Higgins' involvement in the death, even though she knew that she was responsible for his death when she struck her with their car, backing up at a high rate of speed just after 12:30. A fact she admitted several times, blah, blah, blah. She also knew that Jennifer McCabe, Colin Albert, Brian Albert, and Brian Higgins had nothing to do with the death. Knowing that her statements were likely to be disseminated to a mass audience, she defamed the plaintiffs in this manner in order to discredit them and deflect responsibility from herself. Okay, yeah, we're all really impressed. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's it for the added parts to it. Think. Yeah. Oh, no, a couple more. Paragraph 132 is new. All right. 132 says, shortly after being served with the complaint, Kearney reposted defamatory material concerning the plaintiffs that he had previously published. For example, on April 20th, Kearney reposted a third-party post that shared Kearney's Canton cover-up blog from April 20th, where he falsely stated the minutes. So Kyle Sharkey shares a 3-year-old article, and I retweet it, and they're adding this to that. Okay, yes, I stand by the things I said. Yes, correct. Also, retweets do not mean endorsements, sir. Sometimes I retweet assholes just to highlight them, but okay, go on with your bad self. On May 9th, he posted a YouTube video encouraging his followers to attend and protest a fundraiser hosted by a supporter of the plaintiffs. No, hosted by a well-known white supremacist who lost 2 of her children to the state by the name of Catherine Peter, whom I have a restraining order on for 3 years. In stating that the fundraiser is being held for, quote, the people that framed Karen Reed for murder, and that referring to, among others, the plaintiffs, they killed John O'Keefe. Kearney continued, The trolls are like, oh my God, he's doubling down and saying that. Of course I'm doubling down. You think I'm going to stop saying that these people killed John O'Keefe because they sued me? Why would I stop saying that? I believe it. I know it to be true. Do they think that helps them? And again, they put a live show on it, and they're going to have to play that whole stream. Go watch Melanie's coverage of this. She plays it all. She's telling us everything, folks. 135. So these are all new. 135 to 141 are all new. 134. Kearney posted a live video, fundraiser for his defense, in which David Yannetti came on and admitted for the first time, despite multiple public comments to the contrary, that he had maintained direct contact with Kearney. Right. So what? He admitted that the reason he needed to involve Kearney at the time was because he'd previously contacted other media reporters who told him that, quote, this case is done. You couldn't get anybody to touch it with a 10-foot pole. Yannetti later urged Kearney's followers to donate to Kearney's cause. So what? Well, first of all, the fact that he urged, nobody else would like, basically he's giving me a compliment that you're the only reporter out there reporting the truth. You're the only ones with the balls to tell the truth. And now we know why, because when you tell the truth, they send you to jail and sue you. So that takes balls, actually. In the same fundraising video, Kearney stated that Reed was framed for murder, which also was David Yannetti's opening line of his opening statements, and that O'Keefe was killed inside 34 Fairview by some combination of Brian Albert, Brian Higgins, the dog, and Colin Albert. That's what I believe. And I believe that Jennifer McCabe played a big part in covering up that murder. Exactly. You're allowed to believe. Do these people really think that they can just file a lawsuit and then that means something? That you can no longer have the same opinions you had before the lawsuit was filed? Who cares? What do I care? On May 24th, Kearney published a video in which he falsely stated Brian Albert was involved in a murder. Let me be very clear, Christopher Matai, because I know you're going to watch this and clip this, motherfucker. Your boys, your clients, they're suing me. They were involved in covering up a murder. You signed up to defend cop killers. When I went to the Bill Ricker lacrosse game on June of 2023, I called them a cop killer. I was right, and I'm still right today, and you're a fucking joke, because that's what it is, a joke of a lawsuit that doesn't effing scare me. You don't scare me. None of these mofos scare me. I have an army of people behind me that want the truth, and they know I am the vessel to the truth. Do they think this hurts me? It's just further evidence that I firmly believe everything I'm saying. Okay. On May 26th, he published a video. During the video, he recounted a conversation he had with his attorney. Okay, we don't need that part. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but 138, during that same video, he stated the plaintiff's counsel advised attorney Pyle that Kearney was continuing to make defamatory statements about the plaintiffs even after the filing of his lawsuit. Who cares? 139, on May 27th, he published a video. During the video, he made statements concerning the plaintiffs who appeared in court. He stated, when you see these motherfuckers in court, doesn't it just make your blood boil seeing these mofos in court? And think of what me and Karen Reed did exposing these assholes together. You know, when I go back and read all our messages, it's like she couldn't have done shit without me. And I was a lot stronger with her, you know? And these mofos right here are so mad about that. They're so mad that we exposed who the F they are and what they did and what they've done and what they continue to do. We exposed that. And I look at this, I'm like, the F the money, like it's about these people. It's about Chris Albert doesn't get to effing win. Brian, okay. And then he goes on to say, on May 28th, Kearney published a video. During the video, he made statements concerning the plaintiffs who appeared in court with the connection with this lawsuit. During the video, he criticized his audience members. That's untrue. He criticized his audience members who had not attended the court proceeding to confront the plaintiffs. Referring to the plaintiffs, he stated, that's the people that killed them. They're right there. They're walking around like nothing happened. What are you going to do about it? You going to ask them anything? You going to talk to them? What are you going to do? I can't do anything. I'll go to jail if I say something. You could, but you choose not to. Why? Because you're cowards at the end of the day. You're just in this for the tailgating. You're not in this for being uncomfortable or making, people who committed horrific crimes uncomfortable. So that was me telling Boston Brandy and others like her, you guys talk a big game about Karen Read and defending Karen Read, and you'll come after people like me, but you won't have that same energy for the people that you guys claim, and I claim, are responsible for the murder of John O'Keefe. That's what I say on the video. So I'm not talking to my audience because Boston Brandy, I don't know, she probably watches me. I don't fucking know. Right. But that's not geared to my audience. It's geared to Boston Brandy and the rest of the people who run their mouths about Karen Read, but don't really show it. On May 30th, he published a video recognizing the disseminating further statements accusing the plaintiffs of involvement in the death of O'Keefe would bring subject to civil liability. He encouraged his followers to use coded language to spread the message. Kearney stated, what if we came up with some phrase that was code for McAlbert's killed John O'Keefe? He then conceived coded language to further his statements that the plaintiffs were involved in the death of the... Okay, so this is called trolling. I trolled them into putting this in there. I literally stated, let's see if they're dumb enough to put this in a court filing, and they were. Because what point was I proving there? I was proving the point that these guys want to outlaw all speech. That when Timcast put in his tweet, don't go read this guy's stuff, that was him directing people to read my shit. Okay. And I'm like, what if we just use code like that? What if we started saying the McAlberts didn't kill John O'Keefe, right? If that became our thing and that actually meant something else because it's coded, and like, will they be dumb enough to put this in there? And the answer is yes, they are. And this is actually a good thing that they put this in there because it proved that they are just trying to outlaw all language, that they don't want you to be able to say anything, So good job, dipshits. Way to take the bait. Good job. And I think that's it for new added paragraphs to this. Okay, cool. All right, so that's it. So that's the amended lawsuit. All right, let me read some turtle chats here, and then we'll call it a night because it's been on a long one. That's what she said. Jen sends $25, goes, your honesty and loyalty to people is admirable. Whatever happens, please don't ever trust Jess again. She's self-centered and pretended to give a shit about you to get herself in the limelight. If she's really a genuine reporter, let's see if she turns up at all your upcoming hearings. Bets are she won't. I never liked her, especially when she turned on Nurse Kim. She's nothing but a shit-stirring bitch. It won't be long until she fully turns on you. Watch your back. Love you, Turtleboy. A lot of people have said that, but I don't think that's going to happen. I've said what I needed to say. I've shared my opinion. If she wants to fucking go full Turtleboy bat on me over that, go ahead. I don't give a shit. There's really nothing. She's literally said everything I've told her on her shows. So there's nothing like new. I don't think she's going to do that. That would be a horrible look for her. If she does do that, I will do nothing. Just understand that. I will not respond. I will not play into that. I will not do what you think I'm going to do. I'm not giving them that. Like everybody expect Aidan's going to burn Machado to the ground. I think I've been pretty fair. And I think she's been unreasonable because she's literally not having me on, again, you want to, because she'll talk about me on the stream tomorrow. Of course she will, but she won't discuss it with me because she doesn't want that. Because she likes, people say I run a cult. But I will have people on who disagree with me. We can discuss things, So, and she'll get in front and she'll see all the emojis, the bunny emojis, and she will feed off of that. And, I don't think that's good. Just saying. All right, next. But to each their own. Again, I'm not going to forget all the good shit she's done. it's weird that it's being used as like currency now. And like, I did this for you. I did this for you. And so you're never allowed to criticize me. What? Okay. Anyway, even when her husband, that's what really pissed me off, is the husband taking shots at me. Because like, bro, you ain't part of this, bro. You're not part of this world. You're not a content creator. You're the spouse of a content creator. That's what you are. You're just the husband. Like, you're not part of this. And your whole tough guy act is gay. Oh, I'm going to kick your ass. No, you're not. Stop it. We're grown ass men. We're not kick over internet. Like, your wife take shots at fucking people. Like, that's her thing. People are going to take shots back, bro. Chill the fuck out. We get it, bro. Your dick is really fucking big. We get it. You're the toughest fucking guy in Fall River. Third toughest guy in Fall River. We get it. Like, nobody fucks with you. We're all really fucking impressed by your hard-o routine, okay? We get it. You're a great, loyal husband. Awesome job. Awesome job. Congrats. Awesome. Anyway, because I did nothing to that guy. You know, I had no problem with him. And then he took shots at me. So I'm like, okay, whatever. All right, anyway, back to this. I stand with Melanie sends $10 and goes, Allie and Bob read Rosemary's summary, including the motion to dismiss. Did you see all the shady shit that Lally's been doing behind the scenes with the jail calls of Miles King? No, I didn't. I may have missed your coverage, but I don't think Mel covered it either. I didn't see that. I'll have to check it out. Nicole sends $10, goes, hi, Turtle Boy. Love what you're doing, even though it doesn't affect me. If you want to watch great football, watch State of Origin in Oz. Love you. Thank you, Nicole. Julie sends 15 and goes, Turtle Boy, you were right. Comes a time you have to move past to the future and get things straight. Good for you. You don't need more stress. Also, I got my Not Today Satan top today, and I'll be wearing it to work tomorrow. Love from Canada. Enjoy. Thank you. Jennifer sends $10 and goes, everyone's asking how they can support you before trial, and a young lady named Megan had a great idea. We can buy merch. I just scooped up a tank, but you need to add Turtle Boy was right in the ladies' Razorback tank. Am I right, ladies? Let's effing go. We have turtles to free behind you all the way. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Crazy Brazilian sends 10 and goes, I'm so sick of this drama. I have one job right now, and it's to free Turtle Boy. You are not a daddy. You're a king. I'm neither, though. I'm a daddy. Free Turtle Boy. Appreciate that, Crazy Brazilian. Definitely not a king. Peter sends $10, goes, you all love to mock the Socceroos. You should all be quietly nervous ahead of facing us. If we beat USA and Turkey, beat Paraguay, you might not even make it out of the group. Well, I don't see how that's going to happen. Come on. That's a lot of ifs. And Australia was the weakest team going into this, the odds are. So, I mean, if you beat us, good for you. But I don't think it's going to happen, bro. It's America. It's our time to shine. Melissa sends $5 and goes, I miss Jess from BLT's show. I don't, because that was also, she was also like holding in a lot there. Right? I don't know. I like Courthouse Steps Jess, but that's just me. I don't know where she went, but we need that version back, please. That Jess was awesome. So much that we tolerated BLT for her for years. This Jess is so obviously controlled by online trolls. It's sad. Exactly. And, you know, I hope that she listens to the criticism, but I don't, based on what I've seen, I don't think that's going to be happening. So next, Herder of Cats sends $5, goes, further to support my theory that Colin didn't leave until much later. There is no way Brian Albert and 𝗃𝗵𝗂𝗆 would have left him out of their sight until they briefed Chris, come up with the plan, and all got their stories somewhat organized. Also, hello to whichever Maddie Stooge is watching today's stream. That's a good point. It's a good point. Barry Lewis sends $5 and has no comment, but thank you, Barry. That's rare that you have no comment. Savannah sends $5, goes, Turtle Boy, do you think Christopher Maddie thinks that they actually didn't do it? No. I mean, do they have him fooled? No, he knows. Come on. He knows. He's just in this for the money. All right. Let me see if we have any cash apps here. $5 from Casey says, weird that Colin Albert didn't join the Marines instead of the Army. Yeah, like the rest of the family. Linda sends $25, goes, people need to stay focused. Oh, no, I already read that one. Thank you. Okay. Also, let me read some memberships here. We got a whole bunch of memberships that I got to bang through here. Listen, Turtle, Romy, nice to see you. Gen X says Turtleboy was right. You're goddamn right. 5 memberships from Linda. Congratulations to the winners. Hope you guys like it. Don't forget to renew at the end of the month. Vagina Mike says Turtleboy was right. Clip this, McAlberts. Ooh, suck on that. Mrs. Rossi giving 20 Turtleboy memberships out. Ooh, welcome to the new members. And don't forget to renew. Turtleboy was right, says Laleen. Awesome. Your dad's favorite mom is a new member. Welcome aboard. That's a good one. Massachusetts Sea Glass is a new member. Nice. Tippy Toppy is a new member. Awesome. Nancy giving out 20 memberships. Woo! Thanks, Nance. Spent the day, Burn Bright Karen says, helping Mary B with your videos and formatting the spreadsheets. God bless Mary B, the other Mary B. She's doing a great job putting that shit together, and go check out her channel. Give her a sub, the other Mary B. She's going to be going over all this shit. Love her. Allegedly, LB says Turtleboy was right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Grammy kisses says cult meeting. Awesome. Demi says Fridge Daddy, he'll fix your fridge, not the internet drama. True. I'm not good at fixing internet drama. I tried. Pauline asks, is Karen off probation tomorrow? It's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. Jen Kitty says, come on, Glare peeps. Let's show them how we gift memberships. Apparently, this is a big thing. Jen Kitty, 5 memberships. Thanks, dear. Enjoyed it. Congrats to the winners. LG, whatever that is, it says, being in the crowd with my daughter was the most epic time in our lives. Thank you. We can do that again for you. Turtleboy was right. I hope so. That's going to be dope. Tiffany is a YouTube member. Thank you. Heather says the cheers as Turtleboy appeared at the stairs, hand raised, mean mugging, epic. It just came to me naturally. One thing I wish I did. I walked down the stairs with Andrea from Canton Television. I should have given her my phone and said, can you please get behind me and record this on the way out? Because that's one thing I wish I had, was like my visual of the crowd coming out. That's one thing I wish I had. That would have been fucking cool. Like the Seligson one that he got on the way out, that was cool. But, you know, it was cool nonetheless. Coming out after DePietro was just excellent. Old Swamp Witch Nan says, love the healthy venting stream. Love Will and Turtleboy. Well, thank you. Cupcakes for Justice is tossing out 5 memberships. Thank you. Jessica is a new member. Awesome. Craft Haskell's a new member. It's Me Sharon's a new member. Awesome. Mom of 4 Denise is throwing out 5 memberships. Thank you for giving those out. Appreciate it. Casey Christie says, real friends don't keep score or expect blind loyalty. That's a good point. That's a good point. Janice says, call her. Again, I offered to go on her show tomorrow. So if she wants to go have me on, I'll go on. Mariah is a new member. Awesome. Emma says, the Glare has your back 1,000,000%. Others are looking out for themselves using your name for clout. They've changed a lot. The following has got to their head. Auntie Laura's a new member. Thank you. Allegedly is a new member. Awesome. Darlene is giving a congrats to the one that got one from Darlene. Welcome aboard. Wore my new Cassie says, I wore my new Turtleboy was right shirt today, and I stuck free Turtleboy stickers on random things around town in Jacksonville. We want to help Turtleboy. Well, thank you very much. I've been to Jacksonville. I spent a month there one night. It was fun. Great job, Aidan, says Bits and Giggles. Awesome to see you talk it out with Will. Sadly, just declines your invitation, speaks volumes. She can't take accountability. Well, yeah, it's her call. Gravel Gertie is a new member. Thank you. Will was Nan Gran is a new member. Says, or not a new member. Member 3 months. Says, love your work, Turtleboy. If you want to see a great game of footy, watch our State of Origin. I will. Queenslander. Awesome. Awesome. Jody gave out 5 Turtleboy memberships. So congrats to the winners. And we hope you enjoy your memberships. And don't forget to re-up at the end of the month. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So it's been a real one. Been a good show. Sorry we had to bore you with drama at the beginning. I really hate that shit. I like to stick to the facts, but, you know, it felt therapeutic. It felt good to go on Will's I really just wanted this all to stop and go away, but I also realized that I don't have the right to control what anybody else talks about. I wish that they would talk about my case more, but I also don't have the right to dictate what anyone else says. And I'm certainly not running a cult where I tell people what they can and cannot talk about. So feel free to talk about whatever you want to talk about, but I think it's productive if we focus on freeing your boy here. All right. So, and getting justice for John O'Keefe. Let's do it both. So we'll talk to you guys soon. I love all you fine people, and we will see you all for the next episode of Turtleboy Live. We'll see you Sex Cult Thursday, Bus Stop Live tomorrow morning. All right. Peace to you, bum grease. Outie.
Top down, riding down Main, it's a clear night, screens glowing blue, got the facts in my headlights, Commonwealth tripping, but the truth stay calm. 𝗺•cy and Allie, I'ma read them like Psalms. KP throwing shade from a broke down porch, but the files in my lap like a flame to a torch. I don't raise my voice, I just let the game speak. Steady with the grind while the crooked run weak.
We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks, they can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just ride a slow grind.
Midnight oil burning, pen hit the pad slow, every word cut clean like the rims on the 𝗬𝗄𝗃. From Boston to Brockton, the whispers all hum. Turtleboys riding in the reckoning gon' come. Lally in the back room, 𝗺•cy on the phone, trying to twist the narrative, but they can't postpone. I'm just sipping on the facts while the city play pretend. True, got no curfew, I'ma run it to the end. See, this ain't about fame, this about that long game. You can duck, you can weave, but the truth still call your name.
We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks, they can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just riding slow,